Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Trackmania World Tour, Stage 2, and it is time for our opening games. In about 10 minutes, we got G1 versus Big to kick things off. Jnic, are you excited to bring this back?
I am so excited. Finally, we're back with some more esport action. Trackmania up in here. It's going to be amazing. I'm sure that the players are pumped up as well, sitting at home, getting ready, getting the adrenaline going, and I hope you guys are as well.
I think there were some lessons learned from Stage 1. If you didn't know, we had a competitive bracket in January running all the way through March. And there were some lessons learned. Like, this season goes by fast. There's only 7 games. You don't get any repeats against the team. So already, like, starting today in the first game matters so much.
I mean, it really does.
It also beat your opponents later on.
It sets a precedence as well. Like, it shows, okay, we're here to win already from the very, very get-go. And that's what we're going to see. We have some incredible matches going on here today, but we could also just talk about what you guys just saw here last week, which was the All-Stars, where we had some, well, you could say pretty interesting positions.
Interesting, how would you say? I think Solary, what's up with Solary? They lost so many games.
Yes,
what happened there?
So if just taking a quick run through so you guys know, of course, the All-Stars was a little extra kind of introduction to this, and the players could also earn points towards the Trackmania World Tour stage. And Alliance won, like Mudda and Soldier won. They did so well, which earns them 30 points towards the Trackmania World Tour. And of course, at the end, the top 8 teams qualify for World Cup. Yeah, that's why they
qualified. So that's why you want those points. Also, was very impressed by G1 in that tournament. Gwen had some very scary pace on a lot of maps. And it'll be interesting to see in this opening game how they do. But guys, if you haven't heard about Trackmania Esports, if this is your first time and you're just question marking, why is he not playing a Trackmania campaign? Isn't it soon couple of days? Like, we'll run you through it. So let's start with today's schedule. Dink donk.
Ding dong, yes. Okay, so today we have 3 matches. Unfortunately, our last match has been rescheduled due to a player from Carmine Corp, unfortunately, undergoing some health issues. Nothing too serious as far as we know, but they had to reschedule the match. But that does not matter because we have 3 amazing matches, starting off with G1 against Berlin International Gaming.
Yeah, that's going to be a fire match. Grenadian Massa versus Binks and Glenn, hell yes. And then we got Solary into the Breach. Also a really good match. From last season, their set was one of my favorites. Went so far with Elcon driving insane times, mine as well. And then that third game, Alliance and Sinners. And Sinners, Jnic, they did so well in All-Stars. They lost every game last season.
That was one of the things that I wanted to talk about here. What is crazy about the All-Stars tournament is that Sinners got 2nd place in the All-Stars tournament. You, of course, know that Sinners won 0 games during the first stage of the Trackmania World Tour, but they got 2nd place in the Trackmania World Tour All-Stars tournament, which is great. They really, really needed that 30 points. And believe it or not, that means they're not in the bottom anymore. They actually overtook BIG for that 8th spot. So
just
they're not
from
World Tour points. And BIG are trying their best to get the points. They're even playing matchmaking. You can get extra points from matchmaking. So they're doing the most, but they're actually currently in last.
Camping and trying their best. And hopefully they get off to a good start. If you don't know how the format they're playing works, we can talk about that too. The point system of the Trackmania World Tour has gone through a lot of changes, but the current one, I think, is here to stay. Yeah. It's in its final form. So here we have it. They play a best of 7 maps, and in order to win one map, you need to score 10 points. These are the different points you can score. So if your team gets 1st and 2nd in a round, that's an ace. That's 3 points earned. If you get a normal victory, 1st and 3rd, you get 2 points. Your opponents get 1, and a draw is 1 point for each team. So getting to 10, those aces are very important.
They are. I mean, we've talked about this. You've said it before as well. An ace is the same as 3 regular victories. Like, that's what you have to get back. If I ace you, you have to get 3 regular victories back just to equalize the points. That is the power of the aces, and that's what we're going to see the teams try for. But as we've also talked about before, this is now a 2 versus 2 format. So there's going to be some tactical decisions going on. There might be a teammate that knows I'm better at this map, so I'm going to full send. You're going to hang back, make sure you don't get last, but at least make sure you play safe. Like, there's a lot of tactical decisions going on now.
And if that wasn't enough to get you excited, there's also 10 new tracks they're playing. We saw 5 of them in the All-Stars tournament, but regarding that tournament, there were teams like Solary who chose deliberately not to try hard in that tournament, to not reveal their lines, to save it all for this opening day.
That's the thing, right? Solary and BDS were the top 2 teams of the Stage 1 league, and they did so dominantly. But in the in the All-Stars tournament, they both were last. They were dead last.
Just like, nope. But we're keeping our secrets.
Yeah. And I mean, that's once again one of those tactical decisions where we want to make sure that the cards we have up our sleeve, we'll keep them till the moment we need them. And I mean, they might need them today.
And I'm sure some viewers will remember. We remember that moment from week 1 of stage 1. Where Solary revealed this new line on slowdown. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
We were just like, what's going on?
And it got adapted by some other players. The same goes with the outside line on the same, no, not on the same map. That was on the Beams map, Reps.
On Reps, yeah.
Where you could go outside line on the dirt as well. That got showcased by Mime and Elcon, I think, in the start.
There's going to be a lot of strats this first week, and then adaptation, I think, is the most important.
Which is also why once we're looking at the maps here, 5 of the maps are the world records are from the online campaign, but we don't know what the offline records are. We don't know what the players have up their sleeves, so we might see a bunch of new world records today, which is always exciting.
That's super exciting. Clips channels are going to be booming after today. World record after world record. But guys, our first game starts in under 5 minutes. G1 versus Big. That is Gwen and Binks versus Massa and Grenadi and Jnic. Do you have a prediction for this first game? Looking at history, it seems like G1 is the favorite in this game, but with everything that's new, is that still the case?
So we did talk about it. I mean, BIG, they are amazing players. Grenadi with the wheel, of course, Massa with the controller, but I mean, they are currently the bottom team in the entirety upper league of the Trackmania World Tour, and they're playing against G1, who did amazingly both in the stage 1 but also in the All-Stars tournament, so they have a lot to show up for. I think Big can take it home, but they definitely need to show that they've practiced.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they have some great maps that we already know that they're probably favoring into. Things like Airwalk is something that Massa has been refining a lot. But then on the other side with G1, you have things like Off-Road, where Gwen in the All-Stars tournament drove a really fantastic time at 59.2. We're going to learn these times as we go along in the league, but Gwen in the last season and Binks, they were so dominant on one map that it was permabanned against them. I mean, Gyroscope.
And I mean,
nobody wanted to play it.
You also had, I don't want to say you were biased, but you definitely had an eye out for G1.
I still do.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they can hold up your hope as well. But as Wirtual said, some of these maps like Airwalk, Speed, all these maps, if you have not seen the maps for this season yet, oh, you are in for a treat. These maps are they're stunning, all the way from the scenery to the identities, which some of the identities are just insane to look at if you haven't, like Airwalk's identity, if you haven't seen it before, it's just crazy. Like, it doesn't make sense how it works, but they get it consistently, or at least semi-consistently.
And then I think a personal favorite of mine, at least going into it, is Control, because it is such a wild map with all the tricks. Again, you're going to get to see these very shortly, but guys, we have to get ourselves into the server as Pick and Ban is starting in 1 minute.
Ooh.
Out of the 10 tracks, only 7 will be played, 3 picked by either side, and then 1 that is randomly chosen. Do you have a favorite map so far, Jnic, that you've seen in the map pack?
I think Airwalk, just because of it's such a I think unprecedented map. Like, it seems so insane that you can put this in a professional tournament, and yet there it is, right?
And yet there it is. Oh, and the one we're seeing right now, we just joined the server. We'll get you guys into the gameplay scene as well, as the players are warming up. Frosty, Jnic, this track is spectacular. It has a mechanic called the Ice 360 that you see over and over and over again. And I hope we get to see it played today.
And that's definitely not something that is easy to do. I mean, some Cover the Day maps and stuff have actually showcased the Ice 360. But if you've tried it yourself at home, you know just how difficult it can be to control the car when you do 360s, to make sure you get the gears, to make sure you get the momentum out of the exit of the turns. It's very difficult, but these players will make it look beautiful, I think.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we see the servers just cycling through the maps right now. Should have the Pick and Ban very soon, but you can try your best to get familiar with these from a bird's eye view. This is Off-Road. I think we can almost already just call it Gwen's specialty, because stylistically it's a map that suits him so well. It looks a lot like Serrator tracks, that's French mapping. It feels like a French track.
That's what you said. It is very Serrator-esque with the identity being so tight. And I mean, we have a 5-time Serrator, or 6-time, 5 or 6-time Serrator Cup champion Carl Jr. in the mix as well. So he might do really well on that map.
From KC as well, Serrator Cup champion. also a rel actually on BDS one when it was a triple.
Oh, there we go.
Now we have the
now
pick and
we
ban.
have the pick and ban. So the pick and ban page is the same as last season, but we will carry you through. As you can see, Team Red is picking. That's Masa's team, Team Berlin International Gaming. Let's see what they are going to ban.
Off-road against Gwen.
Off-road,
so
yep, makes sense. But also, I think off-road is a map that a lot of people dislike just because of the difficulty.
And Control actually banned by G1, so one of my favorites. We won't get to see that. But now they have the first pick here. G1, what are they going to opt for?
I think G1 has seen that, I think Big did really...
Airwalk.
So that was the opposite of what I was going to say. I think Big did really well in Airwalk during the tournament last week, but I guess Pool being picked here...
Also,
which is also weird because I saw Masa drive out multiple times on the Pool identity during the All-Stars as well. Maybe he's practiced it extra.
Yeah, it is a very, like, basic map almost, and just that it's clean racing lines, no weird tricks. Speed being the choice from Gwen and Binks. That's a very precise map. So look at all the pillars in the screenshot. Grip, the answer from Big. This is a
little bit speed precision in the identity.
Yeah,
and
braking. Oh, this is a wild map.
I like that one so much. But the players will be looking at their speed more than they'll be looking at their wheels.
And Frosty being the last choice here. Very, very interesting. These names might not resonate in your brain at all yet, but let's get through it. Let's get familiar. This is the first of 7 weeks of play, so every weekend we will have Trackmania Grand League games going on for the foreseeable future. So it's
also remember specifically this weekend is the Super Weekend where we have both today and tomorrow. In the future, it is just on Sundays, but we will be here to cast and showcase all these amazing games to you guys.
Yeah, so plenty of Trackmania Esports action coming up, and this is the first game of Stage 2. Here we go.
Let's get it. Gamers First versus Berlin International Gaming. Let's hear it in the chat. Who are you guys voting for? What's your favorite team? Let's hear it out loud.
So let's see. Personally, Jnic, if I had to predict, I'm going to say G1, but I am also very much in for a big surprise today.
I mean, you never know, but first map was picked here by Big, if I remember correctly.
No, by G1.
Oh, by G1, sorry, yes. Which should mean that they hopefully will win their own map pick here. You might have thought that was a mistake, but don't worry, it was just
the warm-up.
I almost got baited.
Never cast the warm-up.
Almost got baited.
So here's the first round of Airwalk. Can take you guys through the map once. You have these bumpers, these arrow blocks that they land on. They will push your car forward, and the identity of this map is built around that. So there's a big obstacle at the end of it where you have to fly across the entire map and do an airwalk, as it's so called. But then in the other parts of the map here, very technical, a lot of plastic. And then we go into this long drifting section here shortly after another bumper. And here some players will opt to release a bit to land early, get that inside trajectory. Look at Masa pushing this corner, also down into the grass now, catching up to Gwen. And now this uphill dirt. Want to avoid gear 5 for the longest time and then catch it on the exit. Masa getting it good there. And here is the tail end of the track. Down the hill, one more drift. And then we have another bumper. Still a very close race. Grenadi has crashed out there, but we can take a look at Banks' point of view. Masa crashing as well. This could be an ace in the first round.
Started off, and we're about to go into the most interesting section here. This is what I love about Airwalk.
Are they gonna make it?
Look at that, and they have to land on another bumper and fly into the finish. But Gwen almost missing the finish line, but he did make it, and that is why I say Airwalk is such an impressive map to have in a professional competition, because just look at this. Masa missed. You have to jump from one bumper to another to a third bumper, and missing it again, showcasing that it's not trivial. It is not something that automatically happens. You have to aim. You have to release mid-air because you do have air control.
Yeah, you can
while you're
slow
flying
down the car mid-air to land on that third and final bumper. But yeah, not at all an easy map. And that ace there gives Gamers First 3 points. It's first to 10 on every map. And then ace gives you 3. A regular victory gives you 2 and your opponent's 1. That would be if it was first, second, and then third. Hopefully that makes sense. You'll see it in play. But round 2 coming up here. Want to take a look at what Big can do to match that. The winning time was a 108.9, and that's something they can definitely beat, as Masa has a 108.3 on this track in the offline records. As far as we know, that is one of the fastest times. So he can definitely match that, and Grenadi's up there as well. But once again, we see Gwen with really great pace out of the start here. gaining about 1 to 2 tenths on his opponent, and Binks trying to keep up, but still trailing a little bit further behind. Once again, going up towards that ending. Binks now getting closer, and if he gets a good airwalk here, this could be back-to-back aces for G1.
Gwen, unfortunately, touching that corner. He's going to be slowed down, and now it could look like Big is going to get that ace. Both of them making the jump. No airtime. Binks trying to overtake, not quite making him, and it's a back ace there coming in from Berlin International Gaming. Good to see them still showing up.
And so in synergy there with times only 1/100th of a second apart and a 108.7 by them. So
that's great.
They beat the winning time from G1.
Mid 108s are all amazing times. That is very close to the record as of right now. So the players are always, or not always, are already showing up and saying, hey, we can potentially get world record any round now.
Yeah, and I've heard Musa talk about this map, and he's been talking about, like, if I put together all my best sectors, I can get a 107. But of course, that is on the offline leaderboards, and doing that in a live round here in the tournament is
something different.
Very different from that, because you want to play it consistently, you know? You don't want to make many mistakes, but still look at how close they are willing to go to the walls. They're willing to take these risks because right now, all cars are only 1/10 of a second apart as we enter that last stage of the map. Gwen hitting the wall on the outside was going for more speed, and now Binks has to defend against 2 formidable opponents in that identity. Can he make a better jump happen? Jumps out a little bit on the setup, and he's right now trailing behind both, trying to get the corner here for a more direct approach. Could be another ace. Grenadier and Musa get it. 108.5 from both of them.
Beautiful times. 108 mids is great. Now, remember that this is the first week. We say 108.5 is a great time. Who knows what we'll see by week 7. This is what happened last time in the last stage. Like, by the time that we've played these maps for a month and a half, the players will have found strategies or just practiced more to showcase some unbelievable times. But 108.5 right now is a great time.
Now, Jnic, are we sure that Grenadier and Musa are using different input devices here? Because it looks like they're driving the same car. Equal times both rounds, and they're driving the same lines once again. Crazy to witness that these players have... I mean, they boot camped together in Berlin. They've practiced a lot, and you can see that refinement coming through in week 1. They did not want to wait until mid-season to get...
that's a good argument. Do you think that their practice is better because they sat next to each other while practicing instead of having to talk on Discord and such?
Yeah, maybe. And I know they go about it very meticulously, but once again, let's first catch this ending of the map. Binks and Gwen now catching up to Musa, who has that first place on lock. Onto the jump, though. Binks and Gwen setting up wider, trying to get the corner of this bumper, but Musa is going to jump further. Could be a win here. 4G1 is close, but Musa holds the fort. 108.46 now.
We're getting dangerously close to that 0.3.
Yeah.
That's amazing coming in from Musa. Grenadier taking that last spot, making it a draw, but Big has now put themselves on those 7 points, which means that Berlin International Gaming could lock it out here, take the first map if they get another ace, which they have showcased they can definitely do.
Yeah, they got 2 already, and Gamers First, this was their map choice. This was the one they wanted to start off with a win on, but Gwen has made another mistake here, and now very tough for Binks, as he knows that his opponents are driving 108.4 pace, and he has to match that to defend here. If he gets 3rd place, that would be the end of this map, and Big taking first blood, but he is in contention so far.
He is indeed. Musa holding that lead, but Binks really needs to make sure he gets... You can see the different lines in the apexes. They are on the turns, making sure that they get a different set of momentum through the turns. It is a little bit difficult, but the players are doing what they're most comfortable with, but they're going to be playing here with the lines, and they're very close to each other. Binks now in the lead, but he hits a pole, and now Gennady and Musa are all alone. They are basically fed this ace to them on a silver spoon. All they need to do is hit this last bumper, and I think they both did, and they're gonna get the ace, and that's map 1 for Team Big. Beautiful, taking the map away from Gamers First.
Yeah, clean finish there by both of them. I mean, they failed that first round, both of them on the identity, but then after that, I think it was basically flawless. No more mistakes, and they get 3 aces against G1 on their map.
I mean, that is impressive, and that, I mean, you gotta think, did G1 pick a map that that was the least of their favorites, or did they just not anticipate Big to be that fast?
I think it was the pace of Big might have come as a surprise, but also very unfortunate map there for Gwen and Binks, as they had mistakes in different rounds a lot.
Yeah.
Some small wall touches here and there, but hopefully they can bounce back. On map 2, this is Pool, and this one has a bit of history because it is almost a remake of an earlier competitive track we had called Poolside. So if you had, you know, Dust in CSGO, this is kind of like Dust 2 or Pool 2.
Yep.
So you will see some familiar driving here. If you
So you could say that the players have a little bit of practice already going into this map. But, I mean, of course, they practiced before the tournament, but already before seeing the map, they have tried an identity that is very close to this one. You'll see it by the time we reach the ending of the map here. But this, once again, is Team Big's map choice. And if they win, that's 2 maps back-to-back, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Gamers First.
Yeah, here, very good no slide. Catching that with the wet tires. Get more speed down the hill. Massa in the lead. Through that checkpoint, though, only 0.04 of a second ahead of Gwen into the last part of the track now. You want to get a lot of speed up the hill here before you set up for this water part. And
here we come into the identity. As you can see, we drive under the water. You want to make sure you don't slide out or accidentally get a water bounce. You can see Grenadi almost doing it there. You can also get some airtime if you don't get a tight enough turn and then into the finish.
Gwen winning the round, only 0.06 of a second ahead of Massa, but every player surviving that without crashing the first round.
Yeah, I mean, that was impressive, and also a very good showing of how the identity works already. Getting into round 2, so this was a victory for Gamers First. You can see they got 2 points. Big only got 1 point. That happens if you get first and third. First and second would result in an ace. I know that the point system can be a little bit difficult to understand, but trust me, within the first couple of weeks, you'll be fully down to understand everything. But for now, just enjoy some professional Trackmania esports, some professional racing coming in from all of the players as Binks and Gwen are trying to pressure Massa. They get the overtake here. Want to make sure
to get... Yeah, in this part right here, this is where you see a lot of differences usually. Going up the hill, trying to get speed, and then the setup for the water part, the identity. Binks is currently trying to catch up to Massa. If just one of them gets past, then G1 would win a second round in a row here. Going into the underwater part, Massa still holding on. Going wide though, sliding out a little bit, and now G1 are looking for the ace. Massa trying to hold on, but G1 is gonna stay ahead.
Ooh, and that is an ace for G1, 5-1 already. But yes, we are getting word, and indeed know that you guys might be missing some of the game sounds. We can hear them though, so that's unfortunate to be you. But don't worry, because we will fix it very soon. I think we have to wait until the next map gets played. So maybe G1 will make a quick one of this map too. Already 5-1 versus Big. But don't you guys worry, we will get the game sounds back up and running very soon.
Yeah, it must be weird looking at this without the sound, but hopefully we can get that sorted.
I mean, they just have to listen to our beautiful voices. Virtual.
I mean, can you do a good car sound impression? Like, this is professional Trackmania casting right now. If only we could be like, you know, almost like beatboxers, you know, that can make sounds and talk at the same time.
That would be smart.
That would be pretty good.
Well,
Gwen,
there's no game sounds whatsoever. Just make sure you speak. I think if we yell, it'll be weird. I think we just have to talk regularly now.
Now it's a conversation. It's like you can't really yell at like a cafe or something, you know?
No, exactly.
It's too quiet.
It's too quiet.
Yeah, okay, so we just gotta talk
but
normally.
Massa and Grenadi making it look like they're
Jnic.
gonna get this ace, and they get an ace right back, putting him up to 4 points. And now G1 all of a sudden don't look like they're in a demanding lead anymore.
No, I mean, it had potential, but Big, they answered back 5-4. And it's still a very close game here on Pool. But you're seeing how close the rounds are. Like this map, very consistent, very technical. And I think that's something that Grenadi and Massa will favor more often than Gwen and Binks. That might sound weird, but I would consider Gwen and Binks like tricksters almost. Like they will go for, you know, crazy map if it has a backflip, if it has a bug slide, stuff like that. They thrive under the chaos.
But I think that's a typical thing that new school players kind of enjoy, those one-off maps.
Those wild maps. And then you see like old school and it's like, yeah, let's just battle it out on a couple of drifts and some underwater part. That's okay for us.
And I mean, that is the difference, that if you tended to play Trackmania Esport or Trackmania Competitive 5-10 years ago, the maps were very, very different, mostly just focused on drifts and high technicalities, where nowadays you need to be good on every single surface, and usually also with gimmicks like this at the ending of maps, which do favor new school players like Binks and Gwen.
Binks and Gwen, though, look at this. They could ace here back again, but Masa has a lot of speed past Binks, and so does Grenadi. Is that a draw then? Draw secured, but that was very, very close and scary for Big.
But you could see there in the ending that Masa and Grenadi, they noticed, hey, we have to risk this final turn because otherwise we're going to get aced. They went really deep in the turn. Their apex was very, very low. So they risked getting water, kind of an underwater bounce, like flying underwater, you know what I mean? Like swimming. And that's going to slow you down tremendously. But they risked it and made sure to secure that... draw.
They do risk, yeah. The floating time important. Let's just take a look at this identity from the perspective of Big, because they drive it very different from Gwen and Binks on the G1 side. They go for a line that looks slower, but then they come through with that speed. So Gwen right now holding on, but they might have a trick up their sleeve here, Big, and that is why they picked into this map as their first one.
Yeah, so you can see there are just slightly different lines. You might not think that it's so different. Look at that. Masa getting the outside trajectory on the dirt, minimizing the airtime. And now Masa and Gwen are neck and neck going into the identity.
Yeah, so look at this second turn here. Masa wants to go much higher up on the left side than what Gwen does. Getting that checkpoint early and then coming through at speed here. And is that going to pay off? Is he going to get any closer? Goes underwater for a lot of it. Might have gained a few hundredths.
Yeah, he gains a little bit in the end. Do you think that it kind of looked like it was on purpose. He drove out of the water and then went into a slide to counter steer, no slide. Do you think that was on purpose?
Yeah, I think so, because he's been doing it every time. But
that's kind of a risky move.
Gwen right now, Jnic, is a robot. He's been driving 105.2 just about every single round on repeat. And if he just can get joined by Binks up there for one more round right now, they can take the map.
It is so impressive to see the players drive so tight on that right-hander that their right wheels jump off the ground, only having traction with that left wheel. All of the players also landing in a slide, trying to reduce their speed enough to counter steer into a no slide, into a turn that doesn't slide out. It is so impressive to look at.
It is so ridiculous how close they drive to the walls in every corner here. Thinking about doing that myself, I would probably have a seizure by looking at that many wall corners so close back to back. But here we find all four players in a race right now in the underwater part on pool. Gwen and Binks going for the early line. Did Masa slide out? He did, and that could be an ace right now. Grenadi is the only player left to defend, but no. Binks joins Gwen up there. Wait. He gets past.
And that small mistake from G1 will make them not win the map just yet. It's going to be 9-7. Also, we've talked about this before. If you guys don't know, 9-7 means this has to be the last round. There's no way in any situation that this is not going to be the last round. G1 just needs to not get aced.
Yeah, if Big bring this back now with that one snipe by 3,000, that would be heroics from them, but they do have to get an ace. That's the only way through. So G1 right now trying to play it a bit safe, I think, trying to just, not crash out and give it to them for free. But it's also this mental game of like, once you try to save, it can be very hard to drive a good run.
Yep.
Because you're just so self-conscious about every turn. Like, instead of doing it how your muscle memory wants you to do it.
Crazy stupid here, but all of the players seem to be doing just fine. They might be saving a little bit more than usual because it is the very, very last round of the map, but they're all still shoulder to shoulder, neck to neck, and showcasing a very good last round here of pool going into the identity. Masa's in the lead. We have a slide out from G1, Binks. Another slow entrance from Binks, and now Masa driving head first into the cube, and that's gonna give Gamers First their first map victory.
That is crazy close. That is one turn away from that being Big's win on this map, but G1 get out of it unscathed, and now we will try to get you guys audio in the game, so hopefully we will have that sorted as we're going to the next map. It's the third choice, and it's back to G1's court. They picked Frosty, no, not Frosty. They picked Speed as the third track. Frosty's the sixth map of the series. And Speed, well, we talked about new school players earlier being
All right, so Chad, sorry to interrupt you, Virtual. So Chad, I need you to tell us whether or not you find you can hear the audio and how loud it is for you guys.
Looks
is this
pretty good? Brrr. Yeah, I think that should
will be looking at
have audio sorted for us. But while we are doing that, speed, the third track here. We mentioned new school players wanting to play tricky maps.
Getting a word here, the chat seems to think it is a bit loud. So we can turn it down just a scotch.
We can have that sorted. But we are already underway here on the first round of speed, so let's not miss out on the action. This is a very high-speed map, as the name suggests, and it has this crazy, precise ending part. It's really only about raw driving here. No weird tricks, no weird slides or anything like that, so might be weird that new school players favor into it, but Gwen and Binks are pace demons in this league.
I think that they favor is the identity here because it is so precise and you can save so...
Hold on.
We already see Gwen and Binks here first and second place. Grenadi not getting that Neo slide. I think that's what he was looking for. And Gwen and Binks now in the lead going into the identity. Here you can see it. You just gotta weave through straight into a pole.
But did the others survive? Yeah, it's going to be a draw here. Grenadi and Masa both survive it.
That is an unfortunate mistake from Binks. But you can see if you can push the speed there in the ending and you can overtake people. And if you make a slight touch on a wall or on a pole, you lose so much time.
Yeah. You need surgical hands. And just think about this one in such a high pressure situation. Like if you're playing this, you know, in the...
what was the finishing time there?
That was a 1:04.60.
1:04.60. That's a really good time, isn't it?
Could be.
Here, 1:03.9 should be the world record here by Scrappy, played in the All-Stars tournament.
Ooh, we have a lot of mistakes already. 2 players crashing out. If you play this in a high-pressure situation, in like the World Tour stage finals, you know? Like shaky hands or anything like that in that slalom part is just going to make you guaranteed crash.
Yeah.
And you cannot really afford to go around the pillars. It should be taken at almost full speed through that section. But here, you mentioned the Neo slide. Grenadi has this really tricky line to do because he's on a steering wheel, making that Neo slide a little bit harder. And now the slalom, he survives the first one. Binks looking to cause some trouble, looking to snipe this away through the slalom. Can he get more speed than Grenadi? He is indeed faster, but he crashes out. And is that Masa then coming through with an ace? Yes, indeed. Big will get this with... you know, consistent lines through that pole.
And that's the thing, right? You can see just how much time you lose if you end up hitting a pole or hitting a wall there in the ending, because you cannot, if you guys did not spot it, you drive over a no brakes block, which means that, well, you can't brake. So if you enter that section with a lot of speed, you're just gonna have to weave through those turns without touching anything. You can't slow down, you can't make sure you save it, you just gotta go full send.
Gotta indeed. Here, already see G1 in the start, gaining about 1/10 for free with that inside line. Here though, Masa coming through in the NASCAR part, more speed, also a no brakes part there. And then they jump across this turn to try to get speed in the uphill. Wide line through, but so far in the race, I think this is the closest round we've had on the map yet. Players have now gotten warmed up on it. And now we enter the pole part.
Risky low jump coming in from Grenadi, trying to reduce airtime, but it almost backfired on him here. And now we enter the first part of the, kind of the first part of the identity where you go through this slight slalom section. And here we go again. Is anybody gonna make any mistakes driving into a pole? You can see trying to get closer to Binks. Binks makes a huge mistake. Now Gwen has to maintain that lead. He does indeed, so it's gonna end up in a draw, but Big will take that any day of the week right now because there's still 3 points ahead.
Yeah, a nice 1:04.20 though from Gwen. Very nice.
Very, very dank.
Very dank time as he secures the draw, as he said. Cannot really afford those mistakes on the identity, and Binks has been crashing there a lot around so far. So hopefully he can find that consistency. Gwen as well, really his second clean run there out of 4. So the survival percent on this map, I think, is gonna generally be pretty low, but if you are able to get
Yes.
You navigate past those poles every time. This could be a very strong pick in the league.
Gwen losing so much speed, and that's going to allow pretty much the rest of the field to overtake. Grenade not quite getting it either, but Masa and Binks are in the lead by multiple car lengths, and hopefully Masa can maintain this lead because his team is looking to get the map win away from G1. This is G1's map pick, after all.
It is indeed. Low jump there from Grenade once again, trying to get a few hundreds, but here the slides begin through the slalom part. As we see the G1 players just barely trailing Masa up there in the lead. Here we go into the slalom. Can they survive past the pillars? Everyone releasing Masa crashing out, and that's going to be an ace for G1 as both big players have crashed. And they answer back. It's equal.
Now, yeah, they equalize the score 5-5, and that's going to be important for G1. Big starting to sweat a little bit. It is, well, once again, a really dangerous map. Any spot in the map, because it's such a high-speed map, will lose you quite a lot of time, especially if you crash in those very important no-break sections.
Yeah, it's so punishing to crash out here, but so rewarding and so impressive. Like, think about driving this every time back-to-back. They have a version of this in matchmaking where it's made a little bit easier, but that identity is still, you know...
Yeah.
The gap is barely wider than the car itself, and you have to do that at 500 speed, ideally at full speed, hitting every apex.
It reminds me a little bit of minigolf when you have to, you know, put right in between two slits or something, or a zigzag, and you have to hit a very, very specific line. That's what these players are doing, but with a car going like 600 kilometers an hour. It's not too easy.
It's not easy at all, but to the ones who dare to risk it, they get more points. They survive it. Here we see Grenade trying to catch up to Gwen. Gwen is probably going to full speed that line, so Grenade, if he wants to deny this win, he has to full speed it himself, but he hits the wall, and now the question is, can Binks get past? Binks does get past indeed, and Gwen will take that first place. Binks will take second, and together they will score 3 more points here, making it an 8-5.
They are just zooming in the ending, aren't they? 5 or 8-5. That's a very dangerous position for Big. G1 are trying to lock it out already. They just need a round win. First and third will secure them this map number 3 on round 6 already.
Yeah, so Big here. The problem is they have so low HP effectively. They can afford to tank 1 draw, but they do need an ace at some point. Whether it be this round or the next, they cannot afford to lose, as you said. And here, they probably will not lose, as Binks has hit a wall. But can they make more out of this opportunity? Actually, that wall hit barely cost them any time at all compared to Grenade's crash. It is still a big lead here for G1. They have all the points that they already have, plus this round, which is looking in their favor. So, very tough spot for Masa to play from.
Yeah, he's definitely under pressure, but Gwen touching the inside corner. Now Masa is kind of alone in the lead. Binks is going to try to see if he can overtake, but Masa really trying to make sure that he gets this draw and denies Gamers First the victory as of right now. Don't touch anything.
Clean, surgical.
Beautiful here. Masa holding the lead, 104.4. And, I mean, that's going to give Big at least 1 more round to work with.
It's so crazy to see there, because I was like, damn, Binks also got a pretty good identity. And then you just hear a car, and it's Gwen going, no!
Yep.
Like, just full blasting in the identity.
You can really risk it.
Yeah.
Like, you can get a lot more speed going through into the ending. And you'd be surprised how much 5 to 10 speed makes a difference on such a long stretch.
For sure. 9-6 now. It is a must-ace situation for Big. And just 1 single point here will give G1 the map, making it a 2-1 score. Oh, but hold on. Hold that thought. Gwen crashing out. Masa probably feeling pretty good after that previous round. 104.4 from him, and now Grenade's there. They have to work together. They have to play this like airwalk and get a good time. Because if they both get it...
But Binks is definitely, I mean, on a task, because Masa and Grenade, they cannot afford to lose a single point. So they're both full sending, making sure that first and second and nothing else goes. Like, you cannot aim for third. You have to go first and second, and Binks knows it. So he has to push with everything that he's got. Is he going to make it? Getting a little more speed than Grenade, but making a mistake. And that's going to be the ace for Big. And now it's 9-9.
And if you think about momentum going into this, like, not car momentum, actual, like, mental advantage. Big surviving this identity several times in a row, making it 9-9, putting G1 under pressure on what probably should have been a 1 track for them. this is advantage in their favor. Like, they are playing right now with such a lead mentally, and the question is if G1 can stabilize and find just a little small win here to take the map after all.
Yeah, I mean, it is getting a little bit scary here for G1 because they made a mistake right around here last time, but this time it's Masa that goes out, and Grenady has to get first. There's nothing else to do. If he does not get first right now, G1 are going to take their own map win, and I mean, that's what they're looking for, but Grenady is going to full send everything right now because he knows his teammate is more than 2 seconds behind.
But we've seen these calls before, like, oh, that's a wall hit as well. That's very unfortunate for Grenady. We've seen the comms. We know that Musta's going to call out, I've crashed, bro, full send. And then Grenady's going to try his best, but right now, he's praying for a miracle. He needs both of them to crash or release substantially, and he will not see that happen from both. Only Binks crashes out here. Gwen will secure first place, but is it the win? Is it the win, Jnic? Is the win?
Oh my God! No shot!
It is a draw!
And now we enter the overtime mechanic here, 10-10. It is first team that gets more points than the other team just wins automatically, and I mean, that is such an unfortunate mistake from G1.
Yeah, they're both driving on the cruise control block there, just crawling to the finish, but overtime secured, so not over yet. They get another chance.
I mean, they do get another chance here. Masa looking to not make that same mistake again here on the no break part. He does make it. Everybody kind of makes it out there pretty clean. Binks in the back, though, getting a little bit worse of a drift. That's going to kill his momentum just a slight bit. Only 2 car lengths behind, though. All of the players are quite near each other.
This is anyone's game, knowing that identity. It can make everybody crash out for all we know. Here we go into it, though. Gwen has built up a pretty good lead for himself. If he survives, then he will take first place and at least secure a draw. Binks crashes out, but here we go. Anything can happen. First couple of turns here. Looks like good trajectory for Binks as he might pass one and secure the win here. Gwen has survived effortlessly, and they will take it. Very close and hard-fought map here, but Gwen, a nice winning time. 12-11.
That is a great time, honestly. Only a couple of tenths away from world record, and that's going to secure them that map too. Definitely a beautiful showcase from G1. Also showcasing just that Grenady, he released maybe 0.2 seconds more than the others, and that just gave G1 just that little bit of extra speed they needed to overtake and indeed get the point and the map. So that's the margins we're talking about. We're talking about releasing less than 0.2 of a second more.
Yeah. And, I mean, that map could have easily gone both teams' ways. Like, that's just one round there working out for G1. Yep. 12-11.
And hopefully this doesn't showcase just what's going to happen for the rest of the season for Big, because this happened a lot in the first stage of TM World Tour, is that Big were so close to winning the maps, and then at the very last moment, hurdle, they just make a mistake or two, and it happens so often in stage 1. Hopefully they can break that curse this time around, but that right there looked like a very similar story.
But look at this map, Jnic. This is also one of the 10 new maps that we have in the second stage of the World Tour. It's called Grip, and the best way I can describe this map is that it's one big balancing act. Right on this map, the identity is built around balancing the car, and you see it on the start too, where you have to do this quarter pipe jump, barely touch the ring checkpoint up there with the back of your car. The lower you go, the better, but if you go too low, then you obviously don't get the checkpoint, and the lap won't count. So here you have a ramp cut that the players will do, jumping off the side of the ramp there to reduce airtime. Quarter pipe jump up here, also reducing airtime. But that identity, like, you'll see it coming up in a second. The players have to drive around the outside of a turn like this.
Okay, those 2 different lines coming in there. Big going on the inside poles. I did see that during the discovery of the maps, but I did not know if it was fully doable consistently.
Like gained a bit with that.
Yeah.
Here you again, balance on the outside, but oh, crash coming through from Grenady. But now the part that we've been waiting for is driving on this ledge right here, and you want to see the players get to a speed where they balance the car on just 2 wheels. Right around the 190 speed mark is what you can drive at. If you go faster, the car will simply fly off the track from being too fast. And then you have to build speed and get that risky finish up there. Gwen winning the round with a 102.05. Masa just behind though, and Binks securing a win for his team.
But the more speed, the better, of course. If you go, the higher up you go on the turn, the less speed you can drive with. If you're at the very, very bottom of the cone structure, I think you can go close to 200, if not just above 200. And if you go just a little bit above, this is why Wirtual said 190. If you just drive a little bit too far left up the cone, you will fly out.
Yeah, it's right around 190. So some players would go for like 195, as you said, with a lower line. Some people go for like 180s with a higher line, but it's a balancing act. I don't think they're looking at speed as much as just feeling right there. Yeah. Like they're looking at the car, okay, it's about to fly off, got to release a little bit.
They can definitely tell. They can tell from feel.
But look at this now. We saw big winning in terms of time there in that section previous round, but right now, G1 have built up a half a second lead to Grenade with that other line that they were doing, so not easy to say what's better.
No, but I think it does look like Binks and Gwen have been pretty consistent this round, so they're definitely doing well. You can see here just hitting 200 speed, trying to push it at the very ending of the turn. Grenade really trying to push it hard. You can see he went a little bit too far left with that 200 speed, and that sent his car flying. So it is going to be interesting to see just what the players opt to go for. And Masa just flying off the map a few times, but he knows it's not going to change much. He might just be practicing, trying to get as much speed as possible through these turns.
Yeah, and so that's also another element there is when you drive on the balancing part, as you're just about to exit the turn, you can start to accelerate, you know, and build speed for the next platform. And knowing that, like, go moment, like, okay, this is when I got a full speed, that's also really difficult to figure.
Yeah, the earlier your full speed, the better the momentum out of the turn is as well, right? That's why the players really want to do it. So we see this ram cut once again. G1 in the lead, looking for a low airtime here on the half pipe. What did you say?
Yeah, they're 5-1 right now on, this is, you know, Big's map choice.
Yep.
But here we see that line is so nice.
I think the reason it works out great for them is because it sets a way better trajectory for the exit.
They gain like 0.3.
Yeah, the momentum you get because of the line with the jump is just so much worth it. And I predict that after today, everybody will do that line.
Stunning.
That is just the line that you're supposed to go for.
What a discovery that they have found here on grip, and they've taken the lead in this round with it. Can Muscle hold on to that first place? Yes, he can. And look at Grenade now with more speed joining him. He was risking that previous round. Now he can afford to go a little bit safer while still carrying speed. Bit too wide though. Again. Massa winning the round, but Grenade will get fourth there. But the time, 101.9, that's going to send warning signals in G1's team camp right now. Because they're thinking, wait, how on earth, right? Yes. How are they gaining so much time? The world record on this map, do you have it on hand, Jnic?
I think it's 101.624 from Gwen driving in the All-Stars tournament. But it should be on screen for the viewers to see, so you guys can always go ahead and try to see if you can compare it. If we miss it, we're very sorry. It is difficult to have everything on hand right now, but I mean, I'm pretty sure we will identify it also just because it's going to look incredibly fast.
Dude, look at that is crazy.
And then look at the exit momentum. It is so crazy.
And now they're just gone. Like, Binks is kind of close, but that is ridiculous.
But Binks has to fight so much harder to even be close to that, because the line you get with the jump, you get so much more speed, and Binks crashes out. This might be what Big is looking for. A free silver spoon-fed ace right down to Big here. They are more than a second ahead. Grenade knows that he doesn't have to worry. You can see he's kind of safing that with a 189 speed.
101.7. Yeah, this record is going to fall, Jnic. They are safing 101.7. Gwen dropping NT in chat, not knowing he has a strat that gains him another 3/10. It's still a nice time, but like the problem here, like, this is fantastic. Do you think other teams have found this?
I think so, yeah. Because, I mean, just on my discovery, I tried to do the line immediately as one of the first things, because it reminds me of one of the lines from a previous TMGL, where you had to jump, well, it's the same turn, you just had to jump over the corner instead of driving on the corner. So I think the other teams tried it. Whether or not the other teams got to make it work, that's the difference.
Yeah, I know that if G1 knew about the strat, they would use it, because they are not a team to shy away from.
See, my idea was to jump the corner instead of driving on the corner. That's what I tried to do, right?
And once again, Big have gotten a lead out of that turn. It's not a lot, but in Trackmania Esports, getting 2/10 for free is a massive advantage. Like, that is 2/10. The opponent team has to find somewhere else, and with the lines they're driving right here, it's not at all easy. Into the identity, advantage for Big. They're trailing on the map, but they can equalize the score or even take the lead.
Did we have
Mistake from Binks falling off the track. An ace is possible right now if Granada gets good exit speed here. Gwen trying to beat him, but not gonna happen. Big up 8-6 right now.
You can also see Granadi and Masa, they go really high up in the very ending of the final turn to get a really tight right-hander right afterwards. That's why they're trying to go that far up the cone structure. It is because they're looking for a tighter line in the ending, and it did work out. You could see that it definitely saved them some time.
But also, I think you run the risk of jumping. Like, Granadi had some jump outs. Ooh, Gwen almost missing that first ring. But he gets it by, 0.2 after the others. But such a low jump that he's actually first. And once again, a low jump. Gwen pushing right now. He's seeing the times driven by the big side. And he has to try to match that pace. But all of that time that he gained in the start, those 2/10 might be nullified by this line from Big. Because you see here, the exit speed on the plastic is going to carry all the way across.
Oh my god.
And everything that Gwen worked for is just being
He
pushed
also
away.
touched the wall.
He touched a little bit.
That's an impressive line to go for. And I mean, as we said, this is something that all of the players, all of the teams, they're going to implement into their own artillery.
And some like wars in history are just won with better information or like better weapons or strategies. This is one of them. This is purely won by better strategies. Yep. And it really goes to show.
Oh, even with the low save finish, Masa maintained that second place, and that's going to be an ace for Big. And they win their own map choice. It's going to be 2-2. This is a very, very interesting first game of the day.
Yeah, I think without that strat, there was really not much that G1 could have done in this map.
Nope.
But Big, having that strategy prepared and executing it every time to near perfection. They never crashed that part. They only crashed on the cones in the end. So, very well done. Now, this map, I want to iterate. Breaking is probably one of the hardest maps in the league right now. And it is one of the longest maps.
I really like this map, though.
This can happen. I don't know if you saw this. Masa bouncing out in the water here. The start of the map is very hard.
And if you guys don't know why, we don't go into too much detail about it. But if you drive too fast into a straight into water, you will bounce. But if you drive sideways into the water, so you kind of follow the curve of the block, then you don't bounce. So it is pretty easy to bounce out.
You could go out to the right side of this and get a better line.
Yeah.
But everyone's going to do it on the left side.
Slower.
Now here, it's wet wheels and freewheeling effect blocks. Now what that means is that you cannot just brake the car. You can't release and you cannot slow down normally. So the players on this map, they have to drift. That is also the main...
Oh, they can slow down normally. They can just brake, but it's just not enough. You don't lose enough speed.
Yeah.
You're forced to do the slide.
And you will see this in the ending too. The best way to slow down appropriately for the turns is to drift back and forth, back and forth.
Yep.
Other than that, you have this ice slide. Everyone getting through it all right.
This is not an easy ice slide, by the way.
No, hard gear to catch here, and also the exit. But the main thing that I'm looking forward to showing is the identity here, how the players have prepared it. The speed that you go for is also very important to memorize. I believe it is 350 in the last turn and 280 in the first one.
I do not remember, but we're going to see them do it right now as they enter the identity.
Yeah, so here it is. You have to drift back and forth, back and forth. It is 350 for the first one and 280 for the last one, I believe.
We'll see.
Slow down appropriately, and then you have to push 280. Yeah. And we have lost in that part. Binks, he did crash out, but Glenn securing the first place for his team, making it a draw.
Yeah, we have a draw here in the first place. So the identity did not necessarily look like the most flashy thing you've ever seen, but trust us, it is definitely not easy to pull off. And the rest of the map, also on top of that, definitely not easy to pull off. So this is still some very, very high-ranked gameplay. Granadi almost touching. There we have won the first crash. Masa and Granadi now, have this map to
And
lose.
then here we see people go for this hover no slide. So like going wide, setting up so that the car actually doesn't slide while flying. Yep. Bit of a wild strategy being used there.
And also making sure that the spectators know it's not a nose slide, it's a no slide, like a no drift.
Not sliding.
Like not sliding. It's not a nose slide. Just FYI.
Some Trackmania terms really need better names.
We have nose bugs, so I mean,
and we also have a terribly named one called the Zoop that should definitely be called the Hover Boost. No, I'm signing a petition right now.
The boost that makes you hover should be called a Hover Boost, and the soup you get should be called a soup.
It doesn't make sense. Zoop is a terrible name, and don't get me started on S4D, because that's even worse. But here, the identity, you can see it here, drift back and forth, slow down to 350 on the first one there, and then the second one, 280 rather. And if you go too fast here, you will not have the correct speed, but they are safing. They know they have this ace
full save, 240 speed. You saw how inside Masa was able to go with that speed.
Yeah.
The wider they go, the more speed they have. That's basic. You can tell if they go really wide, it's because they have so much speed they can barely make the turn, but it saves in the ending. But Masa and Grenadi obviously saving it because they knew they had this save in their ballpark or court.
In their court, in their ballpark, in their zone. They get the 4-1 score. Gwen crashing out again. Not the worst this time, though, as he does not lose more than 1 second here, but that's still...
That's still a lot. That's still a lot. That puts a lot of pressure on his teammate. He obviously called out to Bink saying, I made a mistake. This is yours to get first place. We need this. We need to deny them the ace. We need to deny them pretty much any points that we can. So please get first so we can get this draw in. And that's going to be what Binks is trying to do, while Masa and Grenadi will be looking for an ace, hopefully.
Now, Grenadi, I don't know if you guys know this, he plays on a steering wheel, but every time there's an ice part and an ice slide, he switches to keyboard. So he uses both input devices and just moves his hand to the keyboard, as digital input is faster there, and that's just something he's memorized and learned how to do.
I think we talked about this. If you want to, theoretically be the fastest player in the game, you need to be able to play all inputs.
Yep. You need analog and digital at all times here. So we do see the identity. A bit hard to catch what's going on with Banks right now, trying to catch up to Grenadi. Might have more speed there. Grenadi trying to hold on to this by a car length. He has it. And they get another win, extending their lead now by 4 points of a gap.
Yeah, this is a decent lead. And if they can just make sure they don't get aced, I mean, that's probably going to give them the victory here. And remember that the team that wins this map puts so much pressure on the other team because you're effectively in like match point, you can say.
Scary part here in the start. Always so tricky to drive, but Gwen has survived right now. And Gwen, when he survived in the first round, he was dominant with a 113.6. So let's see what he can do now that he's equal with the rest of the field. I think this is a map that stylistically suits him very well. And so... yeah, he's pulling away, Jnic.
He is indeed pulling away here, but it's not over just yet. You can see Grenadi going pretty tight there on the ice slide. You want the exit of the slide. You can see like pretty different lines, and that's not, I don't think that's on purpose. I think that's just because the downhill you get there is very difficult to get consistent, but you can get quite a lot of speed being pushed towards the next exit.
Okay, this is very fast up front. They're gaining in every sector, and they're both driving so fast from G1 here. They could ace right back, as you said. The one ticket that they have to get back into this game. Grenadi slowing down without drifting in the first one, getting to that 350 mark, getting a lot of speed here, catching up to Binks right now. Drift's coming through. Is he going to catch him on the exit here? No, crashing out. And that's going to be Gwen winning with a 113.03.
Oh, is that not world record if I remember correctly?
I think that is...
I mean, as far as I know, we can take a quick look, I think.
Yeah, that's a world record from Gwen.
That's a world record, so definitely impressive gameplay. Wow,
he cooked.
He definitely cooked. So give our production team just
some nice French cuisine right there.
Just a moment to update that, but a 113.0. What an amazing time.
Yeah, no, you can just tell, like, Gwen, it is world record or crash on maps like this. Like, he is so fast when it comes to tricky elements, like, oh, you have a water no slide effect block element. Like, he will really, really push tracks like this. And it can be obnoxious to try to keep up with, because he's going to try to do it again.
Yeah. Oh, he is. And that's kind of the... I think that's what G1 does best. It's showing some incredible bangers during some rounds, and then sometimes they'll slide out, but when they don't, it's definitely worth seeing.
There was an interview from Carl Jr. and Pac, who, won the playoffs of Stage 1. And in their semifinal game against G1, they commented saying, like, if they drive pace like this, there's literally nothing we can do. Yeah. There is nothing we can do if he does not crash. If he takes these risks and does not crash, we can't do anything. Right now, though, Grenadi is doing something. Look at the speed he carried into that part, into the water. He is ahead, but he does this straight slowing down here, trying to get more consistently slowed down, but it is slower than drifting back and forth. And now G1 have the chance of another ace. Masa coming through. Grenade trying to set up, missing the turn. Gwen getting first place, and Masa has respawn as well. It's a double ace.
Double ace, but like 0.6 almost slower than before. So you can see just how fast Gwen drove here in the last round. I mean, that's just amazing.
Crazy time from Gwen on the previous round. But also, just a treat to watch. I think we will see some 112s throughout the league. But he set the bar very high going in.
Oh, he definitely did. The question is, I mean, and I'm sure we're going to see 112x during the stage here.
So, Gamers First, they were in this exact spot, 8-6 on the previous map. And that almost went awry because Big were able to come back and make it all the way to 11-12. Can they do something here again? In this must-win spot, I would like to say they could draw, but then it's a ace-only situation, so really from here on out, they have to play extremely well to keep up with G1.
Yeah, but once again, as we've said, or as you said, if Gwen and Binks, or if Gwen has this pace and he keeps the pace, I mean, there's not a lot you can do.
I think Grenade in that previous round showed he was capable of 113 low, but he is also going for more consistent strats. Like we saw in that first part of the identity, he slows down in a straight line rather than those snake drifts back and forth. But right now, he is the one tasked to keep up with Gwen to try to match him in the identity. Is he gonna change his strategy here, or does he go for the straight line? He does go for the straight line. Gwen increases his lead a little bit, getting a better line through there. 0.2 ahead now, and then the snake drifts. Grenade slowing down appropriately to keep second place. Binks catching up a little bit, but it is going to be G1 winning the map 10-7.
Yep. That is well played by G1. That would have been another world record, by the way, if he didn't drive the other one first. He's just driving fast. He's just driving really fast.
Yeah. No, he is absurdly good at the game when it comes to maps like this. And that puts G1 at match point. They are 3-2 in maps. And we will go on to Big's last chosen map here, that being Frosty.
Yeah, I mean, Big really has to win this one. I mean, of course, just because if G1 does, they've finished the match, but also because the Big, you always want to win your own map choices. You want to showcase to the rest, not just the players you're playing against, but the rest of the field, all of the other teams, that you have what it takes to fight them on this map for the future.
Yeah, and now one thing I'm noticing is I couldn't understand why TAC was being written in chat. That is actually short for tactical timeout here. So Big discussing their plan, I think, going into Frosty, and it gives us time to see a longer warm-up and check out the map. This one has the Ice 360, so the map is built in a way where this is the optimal strategy. It is one there and another set of 360s in the ending. So very wicked map here. And again, you know, it feels new school. It doesn't feel that old school, which I think is
not at all. Yeah, also because like Ice just wasn't in the game back then, right?
But Masa and Grenade are both really good on Ice, and that's probably where they're gonna push for a win.
Where did you see the tag? Was that in the in-game chat?
The in-game chat, yes. So the tactical timeout has been used for a longer warm-up.
Oh.
So now we are in the first live round of Frosty. See the ice slide into the flick to get a straight line. And a better gear here for Gwen. Spinks and the others lost a bit of time. Masa had to respawn. Oh, that is a crazy strategy for Gwen.
Grenade!
Grenade's crashed out too, and this first round is not going according to plan for Big, as both players are now far behind. This should, all things considered, be an ace.
I mean, 4 seconds of the deficit for Grenade, who is the fastest player as of right now on Big. I mean, that does not look like it's going to be possible. Gwen and Binks, they both know that they're 5 seconds ahead now. They're going to save the rest of the map. You can definitely make sure you don't lose 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We've talked about, well, the hardest goal to score is the one without a goalkeeper, but still, like, they should be able to just save it here in the ending.
Yeah, I think the thing here is, like, you can crash that identity, but you cannot really, like, fly off the map and respawn.
Exactly.
So, they do secure it there, they get the ace, but I want to have you pay attention to one line from Gwen, which just the game knowledge and the fact that it's possible made me very happy, Jnic. So there was a ramp cut he did. Okay. And because he lands on plastic, he can land way too sideways.
Yeah. without, so
yeah,
if you guys
it
don't
looks
know,
like he's gonna slow down, but plastic doesn't slow you down.
Plastic is the only surface which has no acceleration penalty when you crash. That is a hard word to say, acceleration penalty. So if you drive into the wall on a plastic surface, doesn't change your speed, so it doesn't give you a penalty.
Yeah, look at this right here. Gwen, he goes for the dirt line, all good, all normal. And then on this ramp here, he chose to go very far off the left side, land very tilted. And because it's plastic, he's able to keep that with speed. Grenadier has also found that and has it in his repertoire, but now the 360, we see Gwen setting up slightly wider, trying to get more exit speed here, perhaps onto the booster, but Big are winning a lot of time in that first 360. Is this something, again, that they have up their sleeve? Some way to do that 360. Look at how they're pulling ahead. That's 3/10 gained.
Already, yes it is, and I think that might be one of the advantages of training right next to each other, is that you can point to things on the screen, you can talk way better, more communication, and that goes to show right here where Big is gonna take home an ace, maybe. Oh, we have a crash coming in from Masa.
It's still an ace! It's still an ace because Binks crashed the finish.
Okay,
so
I mean, that's an important ace.
Back. Oh, wow, and the winning time 1:06.10 as well. Really strong there from Grenadier, who beat the 1:06.2s from G1 in the round previous.
Yes. Alright, so let's see them do this ramp cut once again. If you guys don't know why the flick is so aggressive here on the dirt, see, Binks didn't get it right there. Binks didn't get it. It's a mechanic when you... Oh, and Gwen also crashing. Is this a free ace once again for Big? Another crash from Gwen. If they see this, they should be able to save the ending. Masa going extremely close to the wall there. Could have been a mistake for themselves, but no, they are multiple seconds ahead, and this should be okay for Berlin International Gaming to save it into the finish.
And so I think the way Big gained a lot of time last round, just looking at it again, they make the car rotate faster in that pirouette, in the 360. They're able to, I think, use the hill to spin faster. I don't know what the inputs are or how they do it, but that's what it looked like. I mean, they spin faster.
So there's multiple ways to spin, right? You can either spin with pressing brake, accelerate, or remove accelerate from the equation and only press brake. I don't know which one is the fastest. I'm assuming if you stop accelerating, you actually spin faster, but I don't know.
You do, yes, but then you also slow down, you know? You accelerate. So it's like, that's an equation that you just have to, like, you know, try 100 times to see what the best combo is.
But that's the thing, right?
Oh, and also Masa with a 1:05.669. That, I think, is the world record on the track.
Yeah, I think so too. At least the official world record.
Yeah.
We don't know what people have driven offline, but this is what we can see in the campaign.
So I think that should be considered the world record. We don't know what Usain Bolt's 100-meter personal best is on training, but we consider the one driven in the league the world record. Masa, fantastic time. 1:05.6 there from...
So both Big and G1 has gotten a world record of their own during this this match between them. That's impressive to see. Binks jumping so far. That's going to lose him quite a lot of speed.
Able to get back there on the nose here. But here again, look at this. They set up higher, at least on the hill as well. But this time, Gwen holds that lead. Did not lose any time at all in the Ice 360 part, and he's on a banger run of his own. That world record from Masa might be the shortest lasting world record of the league's history, as Gwen looking to take the spot for himself. 1 minute later, he is on the splits for it. Binks also might be there for the ace, setting up wide, getting that speed. Can Grenadier or Masa pass him? Either one.
So tight.
Oh, they both crashed the pillar, and Gwen still in the first place, getting that 1:05.8.
1:05.89. Still a great time coming in from Gwen. He went a little bit wide there in the ending. He drove quite far before entering the finish line, but that does not matter because he knew all they're looking for is the ace. It's 6-6. Did we only see aces so far?
Yeah, it's been ace, 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 ace. Quad ace right now. And of course, this map must-win situation for Big, but Gamers First can't afford to concede it, but they also have shown they can very much so win it. Binks struggling on this ice flick. You mentioned that mechanic, the flick that you get on the dirt.
If you have icy wheels on dirt and you turn your car 90 degrees, you get a very, very tight turn. Masa also with a mistake. I mean, there's mistakes left and right now, but Gwen is far enough behind. What is happening? Are we going to see?
They are crawling up the hill. This is going to be another ace. This is going to be the 5th ace.
It is. I was curious as to they were looking for a timeout because it looked like he just stopped driving.
I think he just crashed very poorly in a spot in the uphill where you just...
You also see two different lines here from Grenadier and Masa. Masa going very, very wide on the apex of that turn. Masa choosing to go a lot tighter. Not quite sure which one is the best. I mean, it's also, of course, what they're most comfortable with. But interesting, different lines here coming from the two teammates of Berlin International Gaming.
Grenadier crashing the identity. Masa will take that win for the team. But they do get to map point now.
They
9
do.
to skip the scoreline.
G1 are forced to ace at least once to come back, which puts Big in a great position to enter map 7.
So Binks right now, I think the main thing is he really has to get that flick.
Yeah.
That's what we got to pay attention to. Can Binks get the flick in the start? Because predicting how the car will react on that dirt is very difficult. But essentially what happens is the game, you go from ice physics to dirt physics, and the game is like, oh, we have a lot more grip right now, and you just flick back to a straight line. But you gotta get the right car tilt for it. There you go. Binks gets it wider than the others, but a lot more speed. He's gonna be in the mix. All 4 players out of the start. Good release from Binks to not crash out there. You can see him, one of the players that doesn't...
Oh, Masa doing a barrel roll in the middle of the map. That's not what you're supposed to do there. That's going to give G1 the opportunity to overtake here. Grenadier is now the one who's responsible to try to deny G1 this ace back, because they do not want to see a 9-9 again. We do not want to see what keeps happening to Big, which is being so close to the victory and then losing just at the final stretch.
Well, it is looking like G1 can ace this, but one miss in that 360 part in the end, and Grenadier can easily pass. He only needs 1 point scored here. He only needs to get about 2 tenths right now up to Binks, who hits the pillar. Grenadier can secure it. Grenadier takes the map for Big with that snipe by 1700s only.
And Masa is just thanking Grenadier at this point. They are...
Crisis averted.
Oh
that
my
was
god.
Scary.
Because, once again, if you guys didn't know, in the last stage of the Trackmania World Tour, Big, they kept being so close to victory by... And just losing by, like, the sliver of a tiny hair in the ending. And it's so important that Grenadier got that final point.
Really, really cool. And I mean, it's such a treat too that the first game of the World Tour Stage 2 goes to 7 maps. We get to see them all the way here. And this is the decider map. It was chosen randomly out of the remaining maps. And we have Vortex to the side. Crazy start here, Jnic. Why are they doing this?
In the... sorry, I did not see that.
Oh, and driving on the moving block.
Oh, yeah. No, so...
Why don't you just go to the checkpoint?
Well, the thing is, I think there's a no steer in the start, which gonna... I mean, they can't turn. They're just not allowed to.
Yeah, okay.
So they're forced to just take the moving block.
Yeah. It's hard to tell because you can't see it, but the players cannot steer in the start of the map here. So they have to go onto this moving bar and then drive at about 4 seconds to get the checkpoint.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, but the front end of the car exits the turning block before the back end, so you're actually forced into a tiny drift, which you will utilize to get the trajectory onto the next part of the map. It is not trivial to do so. It is kind of hard, and we might see some mistakes.
Yeah, this map is wild. That's just the first wild part. The identity here is driving on a pipe that has moving elements on it. So it will push you left, it will push you right, it will push you to the side, and you have to react and make the car stable again.
If you are a fan of the Royal game mode in this game, then you might be a fan of this map.
So here's just a small...
See, they use that.
Yeah.
They use the fact that the map is moving to push them in the direction that they have to go. It's so smart.
But nothing's decided yet. This is the main part of the identity. This is the entree. Here you go onto the pipe. It first pushes you to the right, then to the left, and then to the right again on the end of it. And you got to carry speed up the wall ride and into the finish. And Big will start off with an ace here. Great time from them. 105s from both.
Impressive. That's kind of close to the world record here, only 500s away. So already we see that the pace of the players are impressive. You're gonna see Gwen going a little bit further back.
I love that actually.
That's gonna give him more speed.
Yeah, more speed.
But it's also a little bit more risky. But you can see all the players, they will be shoulder to shoulder in the start. There's not a lot you can do to overtake. The lower the airtime there on the half pipe, the better, of course. But Binks seems to be getting the best off the start of this map.
He did, and now onto this reactor, we can actually ramp cut a little bit, get the back wheel onto it early. Looks like Gwen got that, so that's why he's propelling ahead. And then the bobsleigh ending off. You just gotta make sure you exit to the water. The water will not slow you down, but steering in it might. Masa almost bouncing out too far there. And Gwen is extending far ahead right now. Really on a tear up front. And once he gets momentum on a map, he could easily get this towards a world record. But surviving that pipe in the ending is, I mean, what he has to do.
Any map with pipes are just my favorite maps. They're so amazing to look at. You can see just the flicks they're doing. They kind of looks weird the way that the cars drive when they drive over those moving parts, but it is very controlled, and it does look like they are super consistent with it. When I drove this, I was not consistent at all.
I was like, how on earth are players going to survive this? But
I think the more speed you have going into it, the better as well, because you don't drive on the moving parts for that long, and hopefully your car can get grip early.
That's actually true, yeah. And also just, you know, knowing exactly how much it's going to push you.
Yeah.
Like what the response is.
Or you can see just how far back Gwen went. But that's what we talked about, that the front wheels of your car gets grip before your back wheels, and that pushed him into the checkpoint. That's gonna, did he drive through the checkpoint?
Because he did, but he lost a second plus the exit speed. So probably like 3.
Yeah, he's gonna lose.
1.3 actually.
That was less terrible than I thought it was gonna be. I thought he had to full respawn for a second. But Masa now is in the lead with his teammate Grenadi. This is a great position here for Big. They are 3 points ahead already, and Binks definitely needs to try to deny Big as many points as possible. He is in the lead right now, doing a good job of it, but it's not over yet.
Nothing's over yet before the set. Everyone survived so far and made it look almost harmless, but the only way you really get an impression of how difficult it is if you try it yourself on the maps, maybe in matchmaking. Here we once again go onto the pipes. Let's see which players will survive the push on the first one, the push on the second. Binks still ahead. Grenadi is close. He's about 500s behind. Goes for a better wall ride approach, I must say, and gets closer, but Binks stays ahead, 105.6. And they get a draw, but it's still in Big's favor. They still have 3 points to work with.
Yeah, Big is in a great position right now, but beautifully done by Binks, holding that lead all the way through the map, not showing any signs of weakness whatsoever. And you can see now here, Gwen, he kind of opted to not go for that strat where he's in the back in the start. I think it's just a little bit too risky. It's hard to tell when you're going to exit that moving block. And without it even, he's still on second place with his teammate Binks. So definitely a great strat to not do, I think, right now, just to make sure that almost bouncing out. Grenadi hitting with the back wheel. I don't know if he got an acceleration penalty for that. It didn't really look like it, but that was also very, very risky.
Very risky lines being driven right now. Gwen actually getting a slowdown in the water. Not what he was looking for. Might not have had the correct bobsleigh trajectory there. And now, once again, a lot of pressure on Binks, because an ace for Big right here would basically seal the game. 8-2 is nearly impossible to come back from. Binks must deny the ace here. A victory for Big is neither a good result. One of them crashes out, though, and Binks has more speed than Masa onto the pipes. Last part, pushing him off. He will survive that. He will hold on to first. And deny a really bad result there. That was scary.
They even get the round victory, so they're going to get 2 points, moving just a little bit closer to Big, and that's an important point there as well. So not looking too dangerous now for G1, but definitely they still have to maintain pace. Oh, Gwen almost doing the mistake once again.
Did Grenadi? Grenadi had a bad start, but not a terrible start.
I mean, that start is, I mean, a really early crux of the map. Like, the first crux of the map is definitely that starting block, because it is easy just to make a small mistake on it.
Yeah, and like Gwen there showing the willingness to, you know, risk so much for what might not be more than 500ths of a difference in that line is kind of crazy.
Oh, Grenadi also losing a lot of time on that jump. Looks like he jumped too high and didn't get that back wheel to touch the booster early enough. So, but he is getting close to Gwen, honestly, and this could be a very important point. Grenadi is just gonna full send here. There's either, if you get last, that's the same as not finishing at all. So he's just gonna full send, trying his very, very best to at least overtake one person. But as we're getting closer and closer to the identity, he definitely has to risk it here in the ending. I don't know if there's any way to overtake. They're gonna full speed here now.
Just gotta get a good exit. Low air time, more speed. Binks is in danger. Oh, and he does get the overtake for 1 extra point gain, and that's important. 8-5 puts them in range for winning with a regular victory.
That's a crucial point to get there, and a beautiful ending from Grenadi, showcasing that he got a he got a speed drift all the way to the first wall ride, got a beautiful wall ride, and then speed drifted all the way to the ending, and that was enough to overtake a beautiful showcase coming in from Gennady, showing just how the ending is supposed to be driven.
But absolutely insane how consistent they are on that pipe. We've not seen a single mistake on that pipe from all 4 players yet. And they've driven it now for 6 rounds. So incredibly impressive. Shows that this map is going to be a lot about pace rather than, you know, mistakes. And right now, Big could win the first game against G1. They have first and second on lock, and they only need 2 more points to close this one out.
Oh, was that a small mistake there coming in from Bings as well?
Bings looks like he's still in contention.
He's still in contention, but
that's far on this map. That's very far. Gwen trying, but he's gonna have less speed here. Gennady will be in the lead going onto the pipe.
Oh, huge mistake from Gwen, and now Gennady and Masa, they have this in the bag. It looks like they just need to get through this pipe section, and then on the wall, Gennady and Masa, they are gonna be taking the first game of the Trackmania World Tour. Big, just inching it out in front of G1.
That was amazing from Big. They almost lost on Frosty. They were able to secure it with that Gennady snipe on the 360s. And now they take this map. Very well done from them. And showing, you know, showing up, I would say, very impressively in week 1. Because this was very different from how it started for them last time.
Oh, absolutely. And G1 is a very difficult team to beat. So, I mean, great showing here from week 1, or for week 1 for Big. And I mean, just an amazing game to watch. Very happy to see them do so well. And we saw multiple world records coming in as well. So, I mean, if this has anything to show for the next couple of rounds, I mean, I'm excited.
I'm also very excited. We have 2 more rounds of play coming up today. There were scheduled for 4 matches, but one of them has been postponed due to
yes, I believe it's KC versus BDS that will be postponed till tomorrow due to KC having some health problems. It does happen, but that does not matter because we're just going to see it tomorrow, and it's still going to be as interesting tomorrow as it is today. Just make sure you come back again tomorrow, but we're not done for today at all.
Not done yet. We have a small break right now, and then in about 5 minutes, we have a banger game. Solary versus Into the Breach. That is Carl Jr. and Pack versus Mime and Elcon. Great game coming up. Short break. We'll be right back with more Trackmania Esports, and we'll see you guys there. And just like that, we are back with the Trackmania World Tour Stage 2 and also Game 2. It's going to be Solary versus Into the Breach, and this is a banger game. This is, I would say, if you made a tier list of players, and of course these are always going to be depending on maps, but Carl Jr., he's the 5-time world champion. Pack, 2016 world champion. Mime, 2nd place in the 2022 world championship. And you also have Elcon, rookie, but last season he was able to keep up with all these players I just mentioned. So, I mean, fantastic series is coming up.
Yeah, I think ITB did show up so well during stage 1. Also, you know, talking about Elcon being a rookie, Mime being a great veteran. Well, I mean, he's still kind of new, but definitely a great person that can teach you how to get into the game and how to get into this esport. And I think he did really well. Both of the players showed up great time, especially on maps that were a little bit tricky, maps that other players maybe not favor that much, like parkour.
Yeah, Elcon and Mime I would again put them in the new school tricky category. Yeah. And Pack and Carl are the opposite. They are the definition of old school players, where they will just, like last season there was a map, Gyroscope. Into the Breach were some of the best teams at it. G1 were some of the best teams at it. Solary had one strategy, and it was, let's permaban this map. Let's never play it. Let's just remove it from the map pool. And they did that every game.
Now, if your first introduction to Solary was last week's All-Stars, you might think that, why are we praising Solary so much? I mean, they were one of the bottom teams in last week's tournament. And that is because they did that on purpose, or at least by all means that we can tell they did that on purpose. They don't want to showcase anything. They are, even though they lost, even though both BDS and Solary were the bottom 2 teams, even though they lost completely, didn't win any rounds, they're still top in terms of points in the World Tour.
Yeah, overall in the World Tour, where the top 8 teams auto-qualify for Worlds.
Yeah, and they're top 1 and top 2. And Solary is the top of the crop right now. They don't have anything to prove. They already are in such a great position to get into the World Cup, so they don't actually have to worry that much. But of course, they are playing both for honor, but also for the prize pool that is here in Stage 2 as well. So, I mean, we're going to see them do well. Maybe not in the first week. Last time in the Stage 1, it took them all the way to like week 6 before they actually started pushing hard.
Yeah, you could tell that leading into playoffs, I think, is where they put things into high gear. But since it is only 7 games, like they got caught by surprise by BDS in the first Super Week last season, and they lost that game. And I think this season they are more prepared going into the first game. So I think we will see a very refined Solary already today.
I think so as well. I mean, they are always a team that you don't want to bet against, no matter what. Even if they haven't practiced as much as the other teams, they are one of the top teams, if not the top team in the world. And against ITB, it can be difficult. Do you have any idea of which maps ITB might be going for, since they favor maybe these more tricky, fun maps?
I think breaking is, it seems like whatever you can apply to Glen and Binks, you can kind of apply it to Alcott and Lime as well. Yeah. With some differences. So breaking is a good map for them. I think we might see Airwalk being played. I think that's going to be like a common turf. Like everyone's going to be like, yeah, Airwalk is fine.
It's good. Yeah.
Speed is fine. Like we'll let these maps through. But some specialty from them, maybe Control. Maybe actually Control if it's not taken away.
Okay. Yeah.
I would like to see that map now because it's one of my favorites.
I think they're gonna favor Airwalk as well. I think a lot of teams just like that map. But I do think that you can do maybe some risky lines in the ending of the map that might favor ITB. Other than that, I actually don't know which map I would say has the hardest identity.
Control is a contender.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Because you could say, well, what about the map that weaves through the
pick and bans are starting, by the way. Gonna try to get that up for you. We see it's a black screen right now, but give it a moment.
Here. We can say that the 2 banned maps is Speed and Sinuous. We haven't seen Sinuous today.
We have not. Still a black screen. OBS here is struggling, so it's going to be Trackmania Grand League Radio for a short while. Speed and Sinuous, the bans. So Speed, that map with all the pillars, and Sinuous, also a high-speed map. Still no game feed here as...
Let's give it a moment. I think you just...
give it a small moment. Hopefully we get it back for you guys. Control the first pick, by the way, and not by Into the Breach, by Solary, actually.
Solary picking Control, Into the Breach going straight for Frosty, the 360 ice map. Just give it a quick second here, and
literally, OBS just decided that, you know what, we're not going to have more video feed. Well, let's try, I guess, to get it back. That is crazy because it was working 5 minutes ago, and I'm terribly sorry if we cannot get it up for you guys.
Oh, we can, but we just have to wait, I think.
Try. There is a way that we can do this. For now, just to have it up, so you don't miss any action, I will do a quick change. But Jnic, what are your thoughts on the map pool that you can see so far? We have Control, Frosty, Grip, and Vortex.
Well, I think Grip is gonna go in the favor of Solary, because I think they have so impressive precision. We also have Pool coming in here. Off-road coming in, that's also going to be great for Solary. I think you could argue that it's such a difficult identity that ITB really would like it, but I think Solary would enjoy that. And then the final map, which got picked randomly, is Breaking. I'm just going to update you guys slowly so you guys can, even though you don't have the actual feed, you will be able to watch here in just a second.
Okay, wait a second. There we go. I think the game is finally back up and running. I have no idea what happened, but we do have the game back up and running now.
Here you can see, okay, so the maps are Control, Frosty, Grip, Vortex, Pool, Off-Road, and then Breaking in that exact order, if you wanted to write it down, or you could just have taken a screenshot. I don't know.
Or we can keep you up to date on it. Here we are then, in game. On Control. So I mentioned this is one of my favorite maps. The reason is, and I'm not too biased in saying this, it has some bobsleigh.
Did you turn off the audio?
I did not. I did not turn off the audio.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
Or did I? A quick check here on the settings. I don't believe I did. Oh, I might have actually hit the enable or disable audio button.
Which is not great because last time we had to restart the game, but we will figure that out.
As the players are actually like getting their plugins working and we have a pause, let's do that very quickly. It's stage one. It's the first
what
step,
we
guys.
can do in the
These
same
things
time?
happen.
While Wirtual does that, I will just look at chat here. I'll say hello. Hope you're having a great day. We are currently going into map 2 here of the Trackmania World Tour Esport. I hope you are enjoying the show so far.
I hope so too.
Few technical issues, but remember, it is the first week. We are still getting back into it, and we will continue to give this quality entertainment and broadcast of the esport in the next coming 6 or 7 weeks, right?
6 weeks of Trackmania action every weekend.
So if you wanna, if you wanna get a quick introduction, which I guess we didn't really do actually, Wirtual, sitting right here, owner of the channel, you might have seen him before, maybe once or twice. He is known for doing
I'm the
great
technical
videos.
expert. Is the game okay? The game's gonna work.
There you go.
Okay, great.
And I, of course, am Jnic. If you want to know more about me, there's a little button in the title of the stream that you can click on.
Is this just a Jnic ad?
This is a Jnic ad that you can click on if you want to know more about
Jnic,
me.
I joined the server and we have no audio on the server.
You know, I can't believe you said, is this a Jnic ad, when all I'm doing is trying to stall while you do some technical issues, and then I just get thrown in my face that I'm just doing this.
No, I get it.
I'm trying to fill in the dead air. Is this not good enough?
This is great, Jnic. I never wanted to insinuate that you were not doing great.
But if you want a straight up Jnic ad, I mean, I can do that as well. Follow, please. Thank you.
Follow the channel. Follow here as well if you want to see more Trackmania Esports. Yes. And must I say, some of the highest level of technical work live in the world. Like this is highly technical setup that we're doing, trying to get audio.
What you could do, so there is a pause in the game, which is kind of lucky right now. What you could do is you could check the input in the bottom. So do you want to just stall chat for a quick second and I try to do my magic here?
I will let my older brother take the steering wheel here and actually fix the audio for you guys. But the thing that I noticed is that the server doesn't have audio, but the game did, which was kind of crazy. As in...
okay, I mean,
it could be that this is not us. This could literally, I'm not gonna take the blame for this yet.
Okay, see, that is interesting.
Yeah, no, but see, that was enabled in the main menu. That is not gonna fix it. We don't have audio. Wait a second, chat, we're still on break. Is it this?
Well, I mean, it is interesting. So Trackmania is a game that constantly updates and has new things that are happening in the game.
Yes.
And sometimes those updates also hinder previous things that were updated. You know, it is not easy to code. I'm sure you guys in chat all know about the hardships of making video games. I definitely know everything, so we are just figuring things out here, just asking the other people if they indeed also don't have, because this could be what the pause is about. Maybe the players.
I don't think it's about us. I don't think we're the main characters here.
What I mean is that what if the players don't have audio? That would be horrible for their gears.
Oh yeah, no. Playing this game without sound is almost like playing blind in a way.
Like there is something called gears in this game. I saw a YouTube video recently that was incredible about this specific subject, and if you don't have the audio to play the game, it can be very difficult if you're used to having to listen out for your own gears. So. Yeah,
no, and pro players will talk so much about gears, but if you don't know about gears, then you don't really think about it. But once you do, it's everywhere. Guys, I just have to quickly reboot our game, get us onto the server. Hopefully with audio this time. Hopefully all working. Hopefully game capture works, and then you can just sit back and enjoy some.
But don't you guys fret, because we are like the server is on pause right now, so you're not missing any action whatsoever.
You actually get more action.
Yeah, you get more action. This drama that is happening, unfolding on screen right now.
So I want everyone to know we have audio.
We have audio. Can you try to play music on the audio as well to hear? Is that also a thing that works?
Yes.
Okay, everything sounds beautiful.
And now the problem is, if I join the server, we lose audio. Okay, I'm joining the server. Are we gonna have audio? We pray.
Okay, can we get a praise in chat? or a virtual prey. And we do. I can hear it.
And just like
now
that.
we just need the application. There you go. Everything is back to
okay.
normal.
Round of applause for
One
the
clap
technical crew
in chat. Everything is going perfectly.
And we also have to disable dashboard and this. Okay, great. Let the games begin, I say, and let the match begin. It is Solary versus Into the Breach. We can get serious once more.
I just need a sip of water after that tremendous drama section right there. Right here, live on twitch.tv/virtual.
Yeah. The players are still setting up their plugins, so...
Well, I mean, we can once again talk about the players real quick. Mime.
Let's give them each like an introduction, like, you know, like in the WWE, when they go in, they have their intro song, everything.
Let's
just give them the best possible intro. Starting in the red corner and the blue corner, we have Carl Jr.
Carl Jr., known as the 3-time TMGL champion, 5-time and reigning world champion, 26 years old, one of the absolute greatest of all times in Trackmania, probably known as the best player to ever play the game, and his teammate, of course, Pack.
All right.
That's you?
Yes, that is, as I'm just looking at the chat, seeing what the status is. Carl Jr., as you said, Canadian, world champion, everything. And now Pack.
I swear to God, I did such a good setup for you, and you just fully dropped the ball.
Apparently, there's plugins that are not working, Jnic.
But that's why we're stalling. See, and now we don't. Now we don't get it. Now we don't. Oh, there's another pause. Okay, boom, and we have his teammate Pack.
And you would know if you were paying attention to.
Okay, see, I did it again. I just threw you the ball.
Teammate Pack.
Boom, and then you go.
Okay, can you do it once more? Because I was like.
And his teammate Pack.
Pack, of course. One of the best players from the United Kingdom as well. Teaming up with Carl, it's almost unfair. It's like putting two of the best players on the same team. Not sure how they got that through the admins, but they did. And they won the first playoffs together. Pack, also the 2016 world champion, won the Arctic Gaming Experience in 2022
against
tournament.
His teammate.
Against his teammate, and also against Binks, and who was the fourth finalist?
It was
Tween.
It was Tween.
Yeah. So great team right there. And now in the red corner, Jnic, we have Into the Breach, starting with Mime.
Yes, we have Mime, the 20-year-old player for Into the Breach. He has a top 5 in the Trackmania Grand League and also won second place in the world.
This is not rehearsed, by the way. We are staring at our card.
I'm staring at my card because I need to know everything I say is correct. I don't want... Last time I said one thing incorrectly during the stream, and when I rewatched the stream, like 1,000 people in chat laughed at me. So yeah. I am no longer going to say anything incorrectly. That's why...
staying on screen.
That's why I can say everything I say is the absolute truth. That's why I can say that the two best streams on Twitch is twitch.tv/virtual and twitch.tv/Jnic, because it's in the script.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, what's also in the script is Elcon stats, and we can run through those. He is the rookie. He had his first season in Stage 1, did pretty well, got to the playoffs with Mime. Unfortunately, they lost in, I believe, the semis. And so now they're trying to get in Stage 2. And, you know, the thing we saw really last time was like, you get no repeats, you get no redos, okay? If you lose a game to a team, you cannot rematch them next week and and get a win back. Like, you will have lost to that team in this season.
Yes.
So, last season they started off, I think, a bit weak and found their rhythm, like Game 3, Game 4. But if they can find their footing already in Week 1, they can take down Solary, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and Solary, once again, we've talked about this. Solary is in the top of the league right now.
By the way, just
they have the most points.
You know, you're not missing out on anything. It's just a pause.
Yeah. No. You just changed the scene to me reading right when I read it because you wanted to make sure that people know that these flashcards that we have on hand, they're not just for show. We are very professional. They also include all of the games that are going to be played, including the scores and who's going to win in the ending. We have it all right here.
That last one, I don't know if we have that one.
Oh, it's all
the scores, everything that's going to happen. Did you know this is just according to plan chat?
I mean, we have these flashcards are not just you know, including what is happening in Czech. This is indeed flashcards for everything, including chat's futures. It's just according to script.
So it looks as though. Are we actually gonna start? This is incredible. The game is starting.
Oh my god.
For a second, I was thinking we were gonna have a super week with quadruple games next time, but looks like we're underway. The stalling can stop and the racing can begin. Solary versus Into the Breach. Get some hype in the chat for the team you're rooting for.
Let's get some hype in the chat for the team you're voting for.
And if you had to make a prediction, Jnic, who do you think is gonna win this one? Solary or Into the Breach?
I mean, it's always a bad idea to vote against Solary, but I know that the two Solary players, they tend to they tend to keep their tricks up their sleeve until they have to use them, which might not be the first week, but I mean, as of right now, Pack is in a clear lead. Carl Jr. right behind his teammate, leaving Elcon and Mime to chase them here from the back.
Yeah, I think if I were voting, I would vote for Solary in this game, but we'll see how they hold up against Into the Breach. First round going good for them on control. It's my favorite map, and the one thing I like about it is this trick right here. You have to jump, go low, touch the bobsleigh, and land back down into this cone quarter pipe. Very weird block, and you do that twice. The second one, Elcon's caught up a lot, passing Carl Jr. and almost passing Carl, but that will result
That was a great identity there from Elcon, making sure that they didn't give up the ace from the very first map or very first round. So a great job there. I think all of the technical difficulties are resolved, hopefully, from all the players' sides, because if you're used to playing with specific plugins, it can be very difficult to not have them. It could be dashboard, it could be speedometer, or indeed something totally different. I don't actually know how Carl Jr.'s setup looks. I think he was the one who had some trouble with the plugins. Yeah, the crazy thing is also, one thing that you might not know is the cameras they play with. Carl Jr. plays with a version of camera 3, just without the car on screen. So he plays like this, where it's just like a moving picture on the ground, and that's so he can see every single corner better. That's one thing he uses, and then you might have, you know, things that remove things from the UI. There's a bunch of add-ons to the game that are legal for competitive, but they have to be approved. Elcon hitting the bobsleigh entry. That's going to put him out of the battle, and we're seeing this pattern again, Jnic. One thing we saw last season is Carl Jr. being the safe player for Solary. He's going to always be present, but Pack is the one pushing for pace right now, and look at this. Right now, Carl has that third place on lock, and he just wants Pack to try to secure this first place against Mime. And he gets a better jump on the first one, gets a bit closer. It's 900ths, sets up earlier. Mime with a higher bounce. Is that going to be enough? Close fight, but Mime holds on. Takes first place. Great job from Mime this time around. So both Elcon and Mime showcasing that they can get that first place coming in. And Solary does have those 3 points against the 2 points of Into the Breach, but this early into a map, it really does not matter too much. It's more about consistency. It's more about making sure that you get those round victories more often than your opponents. Maybe even an ace, but it does look like aces are going to be difficult here on this map. I'm just thinking about, like, you know, the one thing that's also incredibly impressive is you go onto a map like Control, and without really any full warm-up, you have to just play it on your peak level, just instantly. Yep. And the lines are different. Oh, how did this turn work again? Like, it can take a couple of rounds to get into that flow of the map. So as long as you don't get ace in the first 2-3 rounds, I think you're fine. But this round is when it's starting to be like, okay, now I have to be at my best. Now there's no, like, rust anymore on this map, you know? No, that's the thing, right? And you also got a thing about, this is the first... Oh, Elcon with a slight mistake there. Carl Jr., as you said, playing the anchor, playing the supporting character here for Pack. He will always be present in the rounds. He might not be first, he might not be second, but he is there to snag your position if you make any mistake. It is such an interesting strategy. It's one of the clearest, like, strategies we've actually seen, apart from picks and bans in the Grand League. Mime right now being flipped, role reversal against Pack, because he was first last time on these jumps, and Pack will be the one securing that first spot, taking the win for Solary, and they go up to a 2-point lead. Yes, it will be a 5-3, and a great start from Solary, and I mean, this might be one of the most classic things you see Solary do, is that they're just consistent. They're just consistent and fast. They might not get aces all the time, but they will just beat you out, right? Like 1 round win, 1 map win, here and there, and all of a sudden they're 2, 3, 4 points ahead of you. Yeah, it's almost like it looks so effortless and nearly like just like
you know, it just doesn't look like they're sweating it too much when they're doing this. Just squeezing round after round, getting a few points, but they're not trying to do like the crazy flips. They're not trying to do... They're just playing good fundamental Trackmania.
And that's also what we're going to see from them. We're going to see them pick maps that are very heavily, you know, technique-wise prevalent. And they will be going for maps that are more about pace than about the ending, you know? Like, they're not gonna favor maps that have everything decided by the identity. They favor maps where Pac can showcase just his technical prowess in the start and then lock it out with Carl Jr. as a supporting role in the ending.
Indeed. We see Pac once again. Bigger lead this time, and Carl is looking potentially for an ace here with a low jump. Could maybe get there, but not gonna quite get past Elcon. Still though, Pac pushing the winning pace faster and faster. Victory. Now at a 1:10.7. That is still 3/10 behind the record we have from Dexter.
Yeah, but a great checkpoint. What is match point? Solary. I love that. Yeah. I love that they didn't change it from last season either.
No, Solary is here to stay. That is one of the best ways to pronounce that word. And we'll see if Solary can keep this up. 7-4 into the breach have yet to really strike with a big round where both players match that 110 low pace. But a lot of speed to begin in this section right here.
I mean, it's crazy how Pac just consistently is so far ahead already on the start. Like, he's always like multiple car lengths ahead. He's 0.4 ahead of everybody else.
This is a good one.
And nobody has really done any mistake yet. Like, it's just Pac's pace is just incredible. Carl Jr. there sitting on 4th place. He's just waiting like a crocodile in a murky river, just waiting for any single slip up from Into the Breach so that he can snag up that 3rd place. And there it is, Carl Jr. coming up here on 3rd. Gets more speed than Mime. Looking to overtake here. Low jump. He might be able to have it. He accelerates earlier, and that's gonna be almost making it. Still getting 3rd place, incredibly important. That's gonna pull Solary up to 9 points into the breach on 5. I mean, this is looking pretty bleak here for Into the Breach on the first map.
And look at that time from Pac to 1:10.493. It is the fastest time driven in the league. The time from Dexter is driven on the offline leaderboard. So that is, you know, you can sit, practice the map for 10 hours, go for one YOLO run where you... But like this in a live match is a spectacular time from Pac. So very, very impressive. And they go up to 9-5. And so far they haven't aced. They've even had a draw in there, but this is just a lead they build slowly and safely. Carl always there to deny any potential ace. Pac always there to attack.
Carl Jr. with the mega airtime right there. I mean, once again, not the biggest mistake you can make on the map, but that's going to put him behind quite a lot. But if Into the Breach are going to do the same thing they've done pretty much every round, they might make a mistake. And that's what he's looking for. He's looking for that slight slip up where he can take advantage of the weaknesses that ITB are showing.
I'm just thinking how funny it is to a non-Trackmania player who's like, oh, mega airtime, and it's like the car barely bumps a little bit. It's like, any mistake in this esport is just if you are slightly off the ideal course. But right now, Solary, they only need 1 point to close out the map. That is Pac getting at least second place.
There you have it.
Yeah, at this point, it should be all but secured. Elcon could pass Pac, but it would not matter. 4 points. Still gonna get a good showing here, though, on the first map. Driving a 1:10.8 there. But Pac, I mean...
did Pac win every round?
I think he won every round. 0 mistakes.
0 mistakes.
110 every single time.
Pac is playing like a task bot, showing exactly how it's done here on control. Solary winning the first map against Into the Breach. I mean, this is a very good showing from Solary in the start. I honestly thought that they would have been a little bit closer because of just the fact that Solary doesn't usually push hard in the early starts of a season. But I mean, I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think because the season is so short and volatile. Like, if you lose a game to a team, you can never play them again. That kind of thing is why they're like, yeah, let's go. Let's not like hold back early on, because being quite frank, like in previous tournaments, Pac has not practiced a lot.
No.
And like if you go back 2-3 years, Pac would like learn the maps 2-3 days before the tournament, practice like a few hours, and then still be at world record pace and win. But now the level has risen so high that he can't do that. And also, he's practiced for weeks going into this tournament.
As you said, to be frank, it's not more than what 2-3 seasons ago that Carl Jr. stated that he just didn't practice.
Yeah.
So, like, he just didn't want to practice for that.
Can you imagine how frustrating that is to play against? You practice all you can, you refine your lines, and then this guy's like, oh yeah, no. I checked the maps yesterday. But it is, like, just spectacular to witness someone at that level.
But absolutely, right now we see Pack and Carl Jr. on a pretty warm level. Like, they definitely look like they've practiced. Oh, this is what we talked about. They did not actually go for the very low ramp cut. None of the players did. So
yeah, this is Into the Breach's answer to Control. We missed the pick and ban, but this track was chosen by Into the Breach. But look at that. What's happening up front, Jnic? There's just a monster from the UK, the Loch Ness Monster, pushing for another record potentially. Mime, half a second behind. They're going for this full outside line.
I mean, Pag isn't even, like, the Loch Ness Monster is trying to stay into hiding. Pag isn't even trying. Like, he's the boogeyman, but in pure daylight, right? He's just not even caring that he's showcasing everything he's got. He is just in front.
105.5.
That is the record, right? Yeah. Did we get a faster time?
Wasn't Musa close to that as well?
I think they drove 0.6s.
Yeah, Musa drove a 0.6. That is the new record from Pack in round 1 of Frosty.
That is Pack. Just first round. Without warm-up.
No warm-up, yeah.
Boom, let me just drive world record because I'm Pack, and I mean, is there even any other reason I need to state?
If there was a way to flex your car's muscles in the game, this is the way to do it.
It is, yeah. I agree.
I mean, like, this is like oiled up levels of bodybuilding type of flexing going on right now.
Ooh, Carl Jr. almost touching the corner. Oiled up levels. Like, you're talking about... oh, yeah, okay, no, I get what you mean.
To have an even stronger physique.
Yeah. I mean, we oil ourselves all the time.
I mean, that's what Norway's known for, is all the oil.
That's exactly right. But Pack, once again, showcasing he is in the lead. I mean, he's just going to maintain that lead. Though. Mime getting more speed, but he goes for a really tight line, and that might give Pack the upper hand once again. Getting multiple car lengths ahead because of that, and going into the ending, the final identity right now, Mime might be able to overtake. It gets really close here, but
good 360.
Yeah, he gets the overtake. Make sure that Solary doesn't get any more points than they absolutely need to. That's gonna be a draw for this round, but still a 3-2 point in favor of Solary.
That was such a clean ending for Mime, and they are looking closer on this map than Control. Like, we saw, I think, one of Solary's best maps. They just went right for it.
I'm just gonna look at Mime to see exactly where it is that he gained speed in the start. Like, he's consistently always just faster, almost from the get-go.
That low jump right there.
Goes inside on this turn as well, which seems to push him forward. That
was not the trajectory he wanted, I think.
Mime in the back here. Ooh, that's Carl Jr.
The first mistake, or maybe a second of the match so far, but very rarely.
Oh, Elcon. Okay, and that's gonna give Carl Jr. the third place he's looking for. And Pack, once again, I mean, it's not any huge differences that. Okay, that was close. Mime
such a good
barely
save from Mime.
saved it, but Pack is not too far behind. He is creeping in 2/10 behind Mime, and Mime did look like he started that drift really late. I don't know if that was a mistake, but that allowed Pack to get right up next to him, and now Pack with this wider line trying to get the momentum all the way through this section, also in the engine off section, going into the identity shoulder to shoulder, neck to neck. Mime and Pack fighting for it.
Line though.
Mime seems to.
That
was close.
Barely squeezing out the win there, but he takes it by 0.03 of a second. That round was a brawl. Nobody really played too clean there, but
that's crazy how they didn't play clean, and they
in a win for Into the Breach.
I mean, that was still some good driving from both of them, and now the teams are equalized 4-4.
They are. We go into the next round of Frosty. Into the Breach have found some footing. They've been able to answer back against Solary. You again see different.
That is such a tight line from Pack and Carl Jr. there, in the start of the plastic blocks, and I think that's just smart.
It looks like Mime wants that wide setup there. Maybe gives him better speed here that he can use on
he gets closer to Pack. True.
Also avoiding the ring now. Elcon, another mistake. This is where I think experience plays such a big part, because Elcon, as you said, one of his first seasons.
What was that turn? Mime going so tight. Like,
amazing ice slide.
I mean, is that spooky in the sense that he could lose the gear, or is that something that I think was on
such
purpose?
A hard angle with reactor ice slides. But yeah, very tough situation for Into the Breach because Elcon has crashed so many rounds, and they can be very hard to, you know, get back to your flow again after that. You could get a bit rustled by those mistakes, but Mime able to hold first here, defend for his teammate, and now he just has to hope that Elcon can come back with him.
Yeah, Elcon needs to get back up there. I think Elcon shines on identities that are very, maybe even RPG-esque, like jumps or obstacles, yeah. But on a map like this, which is purely pace-based and it's so technical, I think that Carl Jr. and Pack have a solid chance of just outpacing.
It's so close though, it's 5-5. A lot of draws have been had, a lot of close fights up top between Pack and Mime. But now Elcon is in first. Can he get this part of the map down? He struggled a lot, crashed a lot of rounds, but now he's in the mix up there. And suddenly, Carl's anchor will only result in him 4th place if he keeps that pace up. Elcon with a great reactor ice slide there too. Now he's the one matching Pack. But this round is looking much better for Into the Breach. As I say that though, the anchor strategy might pay off. But fast pace up front, Jnic. This is world record pace.
Yeah, they're both driving so fast. Here we're going to see Pack going for this wide line, getting the momentum, and probably getting up right next to Elcon, if not passing him right before the identity. Let's see who will get the ending, the best. Oh, Pack with a pretty big mistake, and that's going to allow Elcon to be alone in the start. But Pack with the inside line. Carl Jr. also overtaking. What happened there in the ending?
Elcon crashed the front of the finish. He face planted it, allowing Carl to pass, and that's an 8-5 with the ace.
Oh, what a...
that's disaster.
Like, that's a crucial mistake. That, I mean, unfortunate things do occur, and sometimes the pressure just gets to you. You also got to think about this, guys. It is the first game that the players are playing in the season. You need to get the jitters out. You need to get used to the maps. You need to get used to playing it in a professional setting on stage with thousands and thousands of people watching, right?
Yeah, and I think that the craziest thing for me would be driving a run that's near world record pace. And then, like, does my car have a number 2 on it? Yeah. Why am I 2/10 behind Pack? What is going on? And then, you know, you only see the splits. You can play with the opponent's cars on or off, as you wish, but many people find it distracting, play with them off. You won't know if Pack's failed the end, if he's risking it.
Oh, that's the thing, right?
So, of course, personal preference there. Again, Pack pushing the pace here. This is very...
Did he touch? Yeah, he touched.
Oh, he touched. That was so fast until he touched.
This might put Into the Breach back up there to 8-8.
Hold on, it's Carl to try to stop them from this ace right now, but Elcon with a great 360 together with Mime. Oh, Mime misses, but Elcon at least gets in the finish, and Mime's there too.
And that is now an equalized score, 8-8.
This is not over
And that's important. Into the Breach, they capitalized on the fact that both the Solary players made mistakes, and that's what you need to do. You need to make sure that you take advantage of those weaknesses in the armor that your opponents are showing, and they did that. So, very well done by Into the Breach.
Can they claw this out of the hands of victory? They are so close to taking a map away from Solary and putting themselves on the board.
You talked about this thing where the players might be playing without cars on. Now I have showed you, but there's a plugin called Buffer Timer, which it updates the second your opponents they respawn. So if it's just a better checkpoint counter basically, and the players might opt to play with that. Honestly. It would be such not a cheat.
If it is legal, I don't know if they allow it.
It's not. I don't want to call it a straight up cheat, but I would say that it's definitely beneficial if it's allowed to play with it.
The plugins need to be competition approved, and I don't know if that one is, but you can use it in Cup of the Day at least. So there's that if you play the Cup of the Day. But here, Elcon looking to secure a win for Into the Breach. If the positions remain as they are, then this will be Into the Breach taking the map. Carl Jr. with a good 360 though, but here comes Mime. And together with Elcon, they are going to get this map. Elcon also dropping a world record after those early crashes. He found his rhythm on the map, and they take this 1-1.
That's a great comeback from ITB. Getting the map win. Just beautifully done. I mean, it was an important map win for them. You always want to win your own map, and that's exactly what they did. So,
and I think what this map came down to for Into the Breach was actually stopping Pack's momentum. Pack had dominated every single round, but they were able to just, let's put you under pressure. Let's drive fast enough that we kind of force a mistake, and they did that with great success.
But yeah, we just go through some of these nice replays. Shout out to the production team, making sure that we always are able to showcase some of the highlights of the maps or of the rounds to you guys in case you missed it. But now we're gonna be straight into Grip.
Grip is the next map. It is, I think, a map that suits into the Breach stylistically. But the one thing that we have to think about is, have they found the line we saw from Big? That reactor booster line, Mime, he's not gonna get the ring. Oh, he crashed that first part. So that's at least a little bit of a blunder, but that line that Big found, it saves 2 to 3 tenths of a second. And this map could be decided just based on who has that information.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if Elcon goes for it. I could see Elcon actually having found that himself.
No, oh, they all have it.
Oh, they do, but Elcon got airtime, and that's gonna slow him down more than if he didn't go for the line, I think.
Those teams have it, though.
But yeah, they definitely have it, and I think it is something that all of the teams, they discussed when they discovered the maps, and some of them just either said it's too risky or just hasn't practiced it enough.
Oh, Pack. Mistake. Getting passed up by Alcon. Carl Jr. 2 tenths ahead onto the identity, the main obstacle. You have to balance the car on that cone. 190 speed is the sweet spot. If you go much faster than that, the car will start to almost lift off and fly off the track. Carl winning the round ahead of Alcon. Pack in third, Mime in fourth. And that was almost a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, that would have been a very, very clean time.
Very
indeed.
Satisfying, almost, but we'll have to see if we can get that at some point in the season.
I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get a bunch of satisfying times. But yeah, this I would say this map suits Solary a lot, honestly. Especially also with the identity where it is, and I think Solary does this, they like maps where you can save the identity to an extreme, right? Like you can just slow down to 160, 170 speed and you know that you can't fly out at all, right?
Yeah.
So they just want to make sure that they get the pace through the map to be able to take the identity slow and steady, and I think that's what they're going to try to do here.
But this early line here could put a spanner in the works, things like the low airtime jump zero as well. Anything where the car is not stable on the ground, driving racing lines, is parts where Into the Breach, I would say, have an advantage on Solary, as they can do new school things. That wall hit was almost bad for Alcon, but he survived it. Onto the cone now. 200 speed being driven on by the Czech player, catching up a little bit in time. Mime still up in first. Is this going to remain the case? Yes, indeed. Mime winning the round. 101.4. Give it up for a new world record by Mime. Amazing time there.
Amazing time there by Mime. And also, I mean, still great times by Solary as well. That was very close to the world record by both of them as well. Not the one that Mime just drove, of course, but the 101.6 that Gwen drove in previous week.
And we do say world record very casually here because it's the first week.
Oh, that was Carl Jr.
Yeah, it's the first week. We don't know what times players have on the offline leaderboards. We haven't really seen all the matches. There could be crazier ones, but it's always nice to see the bar being raised, you know, tiny bit higher.
And I mean, the players have a tendency, if something is truly astonishing, they will write nice time in chat. And
so I don't think Pack and Carl are stunned yet, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they might have something up their sleeve, or at least... Oh, that was a bounce out from Mime. That's gonna happen if you...
Comedic crash from
Mime. If you enter the water steering too much, or if you enter it with too much pace, you can bounce out. And I think that's what happened to Mime. He steered while entering the water, just giving him a little bit of airtime in the water, which pushes him out. Pack almost not getting this jump.
Elcon?
Oh, Pack
missed the risky.
He missed the risk. He did not have enough speed to jump up to the risky finish there on top of the safe one. So that's going to allow Elcon to get first place, and indeed ITB to get the equalizer up. It's going to be 4-4.
Yeah, that water mechanic is funny. It's also very frustrating. Because sometimes you're just trying to keep the car underwater. You just want to like drive a nice line, and then you steer too much, as you said, and the game thinks you're trying to water bounce.
Yeah.
And so you just hop, and you're out.
It is also present in the current campaign. I can't remember if it's map 20. You jump down into a left-handed water section, and you can bounce out or slide out easily as well.
I think it's map 8.
Oh, it's a red map.
Oh, it's a red map. Okay, well, either way, water is difficult in this game, but Into the Breach have
Oh, Elcon with a lot of airtime. I mean, that's going to slow him down tremendously. And that's, okay, so that might be why some of the teams opt to not do it, because it is easy. If you get that airtime, you're just going to have a bad trajectory. You're going to lose a lot of that momentum, and that's going to, you know, carry over quite a long time.
Mime correcting his trajectory this time. Important there that he holds on to this lead, because they are very close to being aced here. If he makes a mistake, if Pack gets past him, which he does, Mime slow down a lot. 2/10 now that he has to gain. Back to that first place, and Carl is looming close.
Did you see how long Pack held 2 wheels off the ground? Almost the entire turn, Pack was driving on 2 wheels. That is impressive.
Mental. I mean, like, it's crazy how car control.
Do you think the players are experimenting with action keys or stuff for that turn?
It could be. I mean, if you find an action key that works, it could be easier, but really I think it's all about the speed you have.
Yeah.
And looking at, am I going up the hill or down the hill? If you're going up, you would tilt more, right? If you're going down, you tilt less.
So that's a mistake already, as
balancing.
We can press whichever button that puts the... Wait, no, I think we have nameplates on. I think the players are just so close to each other that we can't see them. It was Pack making a mistake. Actually, 2 mistakes. I don't think he lost any speed there.
Oh, Mime as well.
That is incredibly lucky that Pack... He clipped the corner, but the corner was plastic, so he didn't lose any speed. And that's going to put him up to 3rd place because Mime made a huge mistake.
Oh, Carl as well with a mistake. This is a scramble of a round. Carl with that mistake might be passed by Mime in that battle for 3rd. Elcon holding on, but now look at Pack. Balancing across. The second one, as you said, too. Getting that speed. He's going for 200. But that is why you shouldn't.
I think the reason he kind of went for it is because he sees that he's 15 seconds ahead of Mime. So he knows he has the time to crash at least once. And still make it into the finish without a problem.
But yeah, it's really a game of like how fast you dare to go here. It's a game of chicken.
It is a game of chicken, you can say. I mean, it's a precision game. Definitely. And I mean, it's nice to see maps that are not just precision in turning the car left and right and making sure you're going through tiny gaps. It is also... Elcon with a huge mistake.
Does he have the speed? Yeah, he does.
He does. He kind of overjumped, honestly. I think he was scared he didn't have enough speed. But it's nice to see maps that also require precision in the other aspect of the game, which is, of course, acceleration and making sure you have the right amount of speed for specific parts of a map.
Really, just I think overall the map pack so far, really nice balance of maps that favor different driving strengths, you know?
Oh, that was a beautiful line there from Pack. He's going to overtake Mime.
I'm keeping up as best he can. Carl having to battle against 2 really good lines in that section. Getting overtaken in Mime right now. He must defend here or else they will lose this track. Solary on track point and Ace gets them to 10. And now the balancing act. How fast is he there to go here? Pack has shown he's willing to go for around 200 on that low line, carrying a lot of speed onto the grass. But Mime's still staying strong in there. 1700s ahead. Losing a little bit of ground though. Pack getting close. Mime will still make it 101.5. And his pace here is amazing, Mime. But the consistency is where it gets scary.
101.5 is, again, faster than the previous driven world record. So, I mean, they are all driving really fast right now. I think... in the ending, in the right-hander, right before the finish, it is, of course, beneficial to get more speed, but I think the inside line gains more. So, of course, if you could do the inside line with speed, that's beautiful. But I think it's more important to go for an early right-hander than it is to go for that extra 2 to 5 speed.
Yeah, it's all a game of compromise. Do you want the tight line or the more speed? Maybe the inside line is faster, but riskier. But either way, the players are making it work with what they're doing.
Losing ground in the start again.
And Mime as well. This is scary right now. They both have to get past Carl only for a draw. But Pack, with 3/4 of a lead, that's not going to fall easily. That is going to perhaps put this game at a 9-7, regardless. But can they get past Carl to postpone a loss?
Spooky, because Solary, Pack is on first. If Carl Jr. can get 3rd, they win the round, or they win the map, right? Into the breach, they're looking for an ace, but at least looking to the night call here. Elcon going really risky. Carl Jr. getting the inside line, that's what we're talking about. That's going to send him up to 3rd place. Elcon almost not getting the risky, but it doesn't matter. Solary jumping up to 10 points, and that's going to be the map victory for Solary.
The time as well, Jnic. 1:01:34 from Pack.
Oh my god.
We were so focused on the battle there for the map win, of course, but Pack in front of the field of view driving a stunning world record as well. more where that came from. He's done it on 2 maps effectively so far.
Yes.
Can he do it on the 3rd, you think?
And here we have, once again, the tactical pause. So a little bit longer of a warm-up as we wait. I think that was indeed Into the Breach that is calling for that tactical pause here. So we are looking at Vortex. Once again, Vortex is the map with a lot of moving parts indeed. And it's, if you're a fan, once again, if you're a fan of the Royale game mode, you might be a fan of Vortex, the map, because it does include pipes. It includes rotating surfaces on pipes, and more of a gimmicky playstyle, I think.
Yeah, I want to just also show this once more. We have the no steering block in the start, so the first checkpoint just to the left of the start, but the only way you can reach it is by driving onto this moving disc.
Yes.
And leaving it when it's rotated towards the checkpoint.
And it does look like the players aren't rotating the same way the disc is right now, but that's because when you restart a map, you restart the, what is it called?
The sync.
Yeah, the
synchronization of it. Is on the client? No, it's on the servers. It is synchronized when you start at 0 seconds.
Yeah, so everybody has the same the same thing in the start, but once you're spectating, if they keep restarting, it's gonna desync. But right now, we do have Into the Breach going for a wider line than Solary. That's going to give him a lot more speed. Is that going to be a better line? It does look like... Oh my god!
What?
Bug slide! They're jumping up into a bug slide. That's an insane interpretation of that turn.
And they gained about 1 to 2 tenths with that, but the checkpoints are, and I will say, only equal to those we saw in the big and G1 match. So far, we don't know if that line actually gains a lot of time, but it has probably caused Solary a bit off guard.
Whether it gains time or not, that is
wicked. Can they hold it on the pipe?
That's a show jump, is what it is.
Elcon staying ahead of Pack. Looks like Mime survived it as well. Now it'll be a win round 1.
It will ITB getting that first place, 105.678.
Oh my god. That is ridiculous. Always fun to see what players bring to the table.
Yeah, that is so close to world record as well.
Yeah.
Only a couple of hundreds away. But, I mean, let's see if they're going to do that again. I think that bug slide is just, that's so classic ITB. Just looking for some gimmick that they can utilize or, you know, just abuse to just gain those few extra hundreds.
Once more here, they set up wide on the outside dirt line to get more speed, so that with this speed they can jump further through the checkpoint, land in the bug slide while catching the reactor. And Mime has failed it, showing it's risky, but look at Elcon splits right now.
And he was behind.
Yeah, 37.2 on this checkpoint was good, and we see a 37.2, so that is up there on par with the best checkpoints from the previous match.
Yeah, and like, no, but he was far behind at the start. He didn't have a great start.
True.
So that actually gained so much time. Also, it looked like a beautiful execution of the technique. I think that was one of the better attempts he has had at it.
Oh, Carl had to release.
Can also remember that not a single person during the last time we saw this map crashed during the identity. So it does look like it's a very, very stable identity. 106.1. A little bit slower than before, but I think the start from Elcon might be why.
Yeah, and so now it's like, if you're Carl and Pack, right, you don't have to go for that because the pace I don't think is extreme.
Nope.
But if you watch this VOD afterwards, you're gonna be like, we were playing against that? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, I don't think they even notice it right now because they obviously don't have cars on, so they don't know. They might have they might get told. Either through a chat or a coach, but
let's see this from the perspective of Solary this time. Like, the difference being that Solary goes for this inside dirt line, and then they can go inside on the next turn as well, and then they want to just catch the reactor as soon as possible, and then drive normally up the hill. But then you see 2 red cars flying into a bug slide to catch. Oh my god,
that is so much faster.
Now it's so much faster. Now they're 2-3 tenths up,
and we didn't even see like an attempt at this.
Slide
I mean,
out.
I guess that's the dangerous part. You have wet wheels on that right-hander there on the road, so if you have too much speed, you're just gonna slide out. I guess that is one of the dangerous parts of it. But if you execute it well, it is so much faster. Pack is getting up there though.
Yeah, without doing that trick, this is a great run from Pack. More speed than Mime onto the pipe. This could get very close in the ending. Mime missing the dynamically, so does Pack. Both respawning, and suddenly it's Alcon up first. Alcon in the distance, surviving the pipe, and that is an ace, Jnic, for Into the Breach.
That is an ace for Into the Breach. Super important as well. They're going to jump up to 7 points. And Solary all the way down to 2. I mean, this is an unprecedented lead from these two teams right now. They've been pretty close all the way up the last couple of maps. But
that tactical timeout they did, you know what it was for? I think it was only to practice that line a bit extra in the warm-up.
Oh, that might be.
Just to get that extended warm-up so they could actually play the track, get a couple attempts in, get the feeling for it, so that they wouldn't miss it as much. Because you see, even with that, they're still like 60-70% consistent at it right now.
Yeah. And in the previous match, we didn't see any attempts at this either. Like Big or KC didn't go for it, right?
No, they did
not KC. But we just didn't see any attempts at it. Elcon once again.
Another best split, 30.5 right now with that trick. And Pack missing speed. Can Mime hold that? He can, and now they are looking for a third ace here, and Mime missing a little bit, but it's still a big lead in favor of them on the map. This completely caught Solary off guard.
But this is once again one of those things where it actually saves enough time that I think everybody has to implement the strat.
They have to learn it, yeah. Elcon could have a world record here. He is pretty slow on the pipe, actually.
I think he's just saving it.
Yeah, safing. To secure an ace, and that's going to be the map. 10-2 against Solary. Dominant performance.
I mean, that is an impressive performance there from ITV. Solary did not see that coming. I mean, there's not a lot you can do. We didn't see that coming.
In their defense, like,
it is difficult.
That's a crazy combination.
It is definitely difficult to play against something that is so unforeseen. There's not a lot you can do.
And but so here's what I'm thinking, right? How many strategies like that do you think players try before they actually find like a working one?
Yeah, that's the thing. Let's take a look at it.
Can we bug slide into this ice slide for the reactor boost, hover?
I mean, let's
try crazy combinations.
I think the replay will just showed you the actual strat there once again. Just an amazing strat coming in from ITV.
So Big brought the inside line on grip. We see Into the Breach bringing this incredible combo on Vortex. Now we're on Pool, a map that, you know, they played on the All-Stars. We haven't seen anything too crazy except that difference in ending lines.
Yeah. We did see Big going for a slide to reduce speed in the ending instead of just slowing down. It did look like it worked out pretty well as well. Yeah. But we'll see if anybody else has any other mechanic.
Grenadi also had a wide drift here about middle of the map, but let's take stock of this map. You haven't seen it before. It starts out with some grass and plastic and some drifts. Very reminiscent of Poolside from the 2021 season of Trackmania Grand League. Being brought back, very similar stylistically. And this is just an overall clean, competitive map, but it has this one turn here. You get wet wheels, and now you have to cancel this into a no slide to get more speed down the hill. You can see Pack there pushing through those corners. Next to them all with his wheels, but staying safe, not crashing out. Matching Mime, and then this one drift coming up where Grenadi likes to go wide up the hill here. Pack also proponent of that wide line to get more speed towards the checkpoint. The identity is the underwater driving. You drift into the first one, going underwater with reactor booster, and here, big setup wide on the left side. See players, Pack actually doing the same, looking to do the same. Full face plant, swimming.
That might result in a... Oh no, never mind.
What's happening? Elcon takes the win for Into the Breach.
Yeah, that is a round win. That's an unfortunate ending from Pack. But a great time, 105.6. From Mime. That is, we want to see more of that.
It is not fair to the players who laugh, but some crashes in this game do look very comical, and unfortunately, whoa! I mean, wet tires is one of them, and that might be another. I'm sorry, take it away, Jnic.
I mean, it happens. You can't do perfectly every single round, and he obviously communicated that to Mime, so now Mime is going to try to see if we can get that first place securing and a draw, and trying to make sure that to deny as many points from Solary as possible. Landing in this sideways drift to slow down enough so you don't slide out with those wet wheels can be very, very tricky. Pack executing it well. In the lead, quite far ahead. When I say far ahead, we're still talking less than 0.1, but it is it is a lead that is worth having and definitely hard to come back from.
Yeah, gonna need to find it in the water part. Pack crashed this turn last time, now giving himself a bigger margin of safety, but Mime with speed, getting a bit closer. It's almost sliding out though, but having the speed again in the water part, is it enough to get past Pack? I don't think so. Pack's gonna hold on to this. Great time to 1:05.19.
1:05.1. That is 200s away from the world record as we know it right now, so definitely also fast gameplay coming in from Pack, showing just that he's got it. He's got it as well. Of course he's got it, it's Pack.
It is Pack. I mean, he's dropped records on every other map except Vortex so far, though his record on Frosty was beaten as well. No surprises there, but still so impressive how he can do it time after time.
It's just a consistency machine. Carl Jr. once again playing the little bit more of a supporting role. He is 1.5 seconds behind though, so he must have made some sort of mistake. So Pack will try to deny Into the Breach the extra couple of points here. He gets a lot of speed in this section.
Yeah, this is so impressive here.
Yeah. You can see him just zoom up ahead there.
And then the drift here, hitting both apexes on that turn. Also just very satisfying to watch. But Mime is matching him step by step here. He's driving different lines, but he is equal to Pack before the ending. Last duel, Pack won out here in the water part, but Mime got closer. Can he do something this time? Sliding out a little bit in the setup. That's not going to work out. And it might just be a draw here of Pow!
Oh, no!
Wait.
Another mistake! And I mean, it's still a draw.
It's still a draw.
But in just a reverse order than it was before.
Shuffle the deck a little bit, and it's still...
I mean, okay, yeah.
Ends up in the same order.
4-4 though, 4-4, so still an interesting match. And I mean, if you just stop by, this is Trackmania World Tour. It is the second match of the day. There's 3 matches being played, and we're back again tomorrow. Right now, 4-4 on map 5. Each of the teams has taken 2 maps so far. First to 4 map wins takes it home, so it is as equal as it can be right now between these 2 teams.
Ooh, it is Mime. That mistake being all the more crucial with the scoreline that close, as he's been the closest player to Pack so far. Now putting all the candles, all the eggs in the basket of Alcon here for his team, trying to defend against Solary.
I mean, this could very well be an ace for Solary, because Alcon has also played a little bit more of a supporting role on this map as of right now, and he does also go for this tighter line than Pack. And Carl Jr. actually getting airtime, going too far up on the sausage block. So Alcon should be able to defend the second place, not quite doing it in the ending. He needs a good last right and left-hander section right now. He is on third, but he's gonna push this last turn. Is it enough? Not quite, but that's gonna result in an ace for Team Solary. 7 points in the back. They put themselves here on track point, so well played by Solary. Hopefully they can take advantage of this slight lead that they've given themselves.
Find the opening there with the mistakes of Into the Breach. 7-4. This is also a track that Solary chose, so you know, if you don't win your own consistent maps here, you're gonna get to face Into the Breach on some tricky thing where they might have a new line. Mime crashing out in the start again. Now Alcon, same situation. Can he make it a different result from last time? Going for that no drift, getting it good. Into the downhill still. This is the section where Pack always extends ahead, always hits that drift. And he still remains 2/10 up. And Carl, the player who drives safe, is now going to kick it into high gear to try to secure this ace, and Alcon has to get a perfect ending.
Oh, okay, that's not good from Alcon. Getting that extra airtime, landing in a drift, and that's going to reduce his momentum quite a bit. He is 0.3 behind Pack, 0.2 behind Carl Jr. He needs to push it in the ending. He knows he has to, and that unfortunately made him slide out, and that's going to be an ace for Solary, taking home map number 5.
Dominant performance here. They lost 10-2 on the previous. They answer back 10-4 on pool. And we will get to see what Into the Breach can do now. We could have both games going to 7.
We could, definitely. Solary takes map 5. And we have the last map, which was picked by Into the Breach, I believe. So we're just going to have to see how that turns out.
We will, as we see the replays coming through. That was an eventful map, also very high pace, but nobody beating the world record from Soldier, driven in the All-Stars tournament. Very back and forth. We're going on to off-road, Jnic, as the next track.
See, this is one of the maps that I said might favor Into the Breach and Solary at the same time. So on one hand, it's this kind of, well, you call it French mapping, but like serrator type style.
In all terms considered, it is a French map. Yeah, I would say it is a very French map.
But I mean, and that should on paper be good for Carl Jr. because he has won Serrator Cup multiple times in the past. But Elcon and Mime are the ones who picked this map. If I'm
I feel like
seeing that right, so they might have something up their sleeve.
Any track that has a lot of slidey surfaces like grass and dirt and stuff just feels so much like an Elcon and Mime track.
Yeah.
And this one has a lot of that. And then you add a bunch of obstacles and the serrator type of feeling to it. And yeah, you have yourself an Into the Breach type of map.
If you ever see a really difficult technical dirt map in Cup of the Day, there's a decent chance that Mime made the map. He's really good on slidey surfaces like that.
Either made it or he's going to win the cup. It's one of the two. Here though, Pact able to match Mime up front. They need a lot of speed to make this gap up to the grass mountain there. And then you have the identity where it is just slalom between trees. Try not to hit any obstacles here. They have very little space to work with towards the finish, and Pact will win that first round. Great time as well. 59.4. The best time in All-Stars was 59.2 by Gwen. So already in the first round again, Pac able to just get that pace immediately.
I've played this map quite a bit when I discovered the maps here, and not once did I drive through the identity without hitting a tree. It is way more difficult than they make it look. I mean, to me, it still looks very difficult because it just looks like you're so close to hitting something all the time. But even the jump up to the identity there is difficult. Not this jump, but in the ending, right?
Pac making a mistake in the start. As you said, it's so difficult. The car incredibly responsive when you have a reactor booster. So any movement you make just feels like the car is like, oh, time to go fully to the right, 360 degrees.
But we do see Pac making a mistake, so that's going to mean that Carl Jr. is trying to see if he can deny Into the Breach all of the points, or at least some of those points here, jumping up to second place, but Mime is so far ahead, 0.6, so he's going to hope for a mistake here.
Ooh, clean from Elcon, getting past Carl now. This could be an ace. Mime has that first play. Oh, Elcon missing the checkpoint. Elcon missing the checkpoint, and Mime dropping a new world record.
Ooh, a 59.15 is a new world record. Well played. Claps in the chat from Mime. Wants another world record to showcase it. I mean, we're just gonna see maps drop world records like flies.
I think it is nice that they just drop every world record this match, because then we can just refer to this when we want to see the replays. Just one VOD for all the records.
True.
Make it easy for the viewers. I mean, it's crazy pace by all the players right now. Mime, we said this map suits him, and you can see it. That 0.4 lead that he had there is maybe something he can build again, because this map, very reminiscent of a map in World Cup called Forest Climbing. And that map he was so good at it that one of the ways that Carl won that World Championship was by banning it against Mime. If Carl hadn't banned Forest Climbing in World Final, I think Mime might have won the championship. Because he was so good on that map.
It was.
And you see it again, look at the lead he's building.
And that was even before this off-road part. So
yeah, now he gets to do the off-road part. Pac left trailing by 0.2. Mime also keeping that lead, even extending it up the hill here between the trees into the finish, and it's another 59.
The thing about this identity is that if you drive it like you're supposed to, you can't really gain time or lose time versus other people because you're just driving it's pretty difficult because you're driving at pretty much max speed.
Max speed line, yeah.
So and for the people at home that don't know, when you're driving on a penalty surface, that's penalty grass that they're driving on there in the ending, the max speed gets reduced tremendously. So they're pretty much driving at max speed all the way through the ending, so it's very, very difficult to overtake anybody unless they drive into a tree, basically.
Pac with another mistake. They're being put under a lot of pressure right now. I think this is how teams have broken Solary before, is drop a few really good runs that force Pac to push his own limit, and then you see the mistakes come out.
But I also think that this just looks like a map that ITB has practiced a whole bunch. You're going to see just how tight Mime goes with that line. I think that's also where he saves some time, getting a better line into this right-hander. Junior is pretty close. Elcon
Yeah, the mistake there. That could have been an ace situation. Carl might not make the jump here with that clip. Going wide to secure it, but now Elcon is back and the ace is on the cards once again. Mime might secure that first place. Nothing taken for granted though in the identity, but this is going to be the ace. Elcon going in there as well, and they are going into the lead now. 6-3.
But it is, as we said, Pack flying a little bit. Maybe a new strat that we haven't seen before. Flying straight
is a crazy line. You won't... Okay. Spectators here, unfortunate seats that they chose for the match.
Some vehicular driving on people. That happens sometimes, you know. I mean, that's what they signed up for, being so close to cars that can fly, apparently.
Yeah, like, I would not pick these seats, you know? I think I'd just sit at home and watch it on Twitch instead.
Yeah, I mean, that's what... I mean, you've seen this. People that watch Rally and they're literally right beside a car that drives, like, 300 kilometers in a drift on a turn. Like, what are you doing?
Also, like, in F1, there have been cases where, you know, the spectators storm the track to stand close to the car in the victory lap and stuff, and that's crazy. Just, like, ridiculous. We see a mistake from Mime, actually. The Titan here on this map has fallen at least a little bit back in the field, and now Elcon being left in a 1v2, but this could quickly ace back in Solary's favor. I think...
Elcon goes really high up in that apex there. It doesn't really look like it's working out for him, honestly. I think he needs to go a little bit tighter, but it might be... I mean, I'm not the professional player here, but it does look like that line cost him a little bit of time. Carl Jr. and Pack driving shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand, as teammates. Solidarity driving into the finish, first and second place. 109.7, a very respectable time. Of course, a little bit slower than mine, but they're going to get an ace of their own and equalize the score.
The crazy thing, though, is that if they drive that pace next round and... into the breach don't crash, they're very likely to get aced.
Yeah.
Like, the winning pace there is very likely to be 4th against Elcon and Mime if they get a clean run through. Also an interesting start there from Elcon, going a bit wider to get perhaps a better trajectory here. Can't really see where that pays off, but comfort is also not to be underestimated. Mime losing a bit of speed there in the downhill.
Pack also had an interesting line. He got all the way up, back up to first place with that line. He went really, really wide on a... penalty dirt section, and it worked out for him like great. We can probably see that in the next round here, seeing if Elcon goes a little bit tighter than... Oh, he once again goes super high up. I mean, it looks like it's on purpose. It just seems like it's not the best line, but that might just be my eyes deceiving me.
It is going to have effects on the split, so you see Solary pulling further ahead, and now they have another ace possible. Can Elcon gain 3/10 to Carl in the last part? Gets a better uphill at least. It is more speed, but it's too far as well. And Solary right now with momentum, 2 aces in a row. This was looking like a map that Into the Breach would get, but Solary 1 point away from closing the match.
Closing the entire match.
Closing the entire match.
This puts a lot of pressure on Into the Breach and indeed Mime, because I think Mime is the one who's going to carry this map. So if he makes another mistake, if any of the Into the Breach players make any mistakes whatsoever, I mean, that's probably going to close it down. If we take a look here at Pack, you can see just a wide line he goes for in, well, that was actually it. And then a low airtime jump here. It did push him far ahead last time. He didn't go quite as wide this time, but that's definitely an interesting strat that he's developed. And I mean, he's up on second place together with Mime, so with a little bit more speed as well.
Yeah, the speed.
Oh, and there it is.
That mistake could be crucial.
Two times into the pole.
And the problem here is that they cannot concede any points, but with Mime down in 4th, that is a guaranteed result, basically. Like, Pack just needs to finish here. Doesn't matter if he beats Elcon or not. If he finishes ahead of Mime, they will win the set here. But well played by both teams. It looks like this will be the end of it. Solary taking down Into the Breach in a very close match here with a ton of world records and interesting lines. They put on a great show here, and I can't wait to see what more they can do in the next.
I mean, that's matches. I mean, and we did say you should never count in Solary out, but Into the Breach put up such a great match. Both Elcon and Mime driving world records in respective maps here as well. So just a beautiful, beautiful showcase.
Indeed, that is the game. Solary, well played. They go up 1-0, and with that, we have one more game coming up. But first, perhaps some final replays from that set. And now you can see the crazy record from Mime, the 59.1. Curious to see if that will be beaten in our third game.
Yeah, we also will see round 4 here where ITB, they manages to stay in front and secure an ace, getting in front of Solary, but then Solary claps back to back.
Yeah, 2 aces there, 6 points without Into the Breach getting a single one was the decisive factor in that game. But overall, amazing stuff. Guys, we got one more game today. It's coming up right after a short break. I would recommend that you do not go anywhere, because when we return, we're going to have what is Alliance versus Sinners. And Sinners?
It is going to be amazing. Sinners, they actually got second place in the All-Stars tournament recently.
And Alliance won it.
And Alliance won it. So we got top 1 and top 2 from last week's tournament, and they're going to battle it out here on the new maps. Not just 5 of them, but all 10 of them. Let's see what they're going to pick. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Trackmania World Tour Stage 2. We have one more game to show you tonight, and it is going to be a blast. It's a repeat, as you said, of the finals of the All-Stars tournament. Alliance versus Sinners.
Yes.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking both of them definitely showed during the All-Stars tournament that they know what they're doing. Modern Soldier, of course, won. Alliance won, so yay Alliance for that. Sinners, they got second place. If you guys did not know, Sinners got dead last during the last season of the Trackmania World Tour, so it's going to be great, or it is great to see them on top here of the last weekend's tournament, and let's see if they can, you know, replicate that result here against Alliance.
I love the story of Team Sinners, because Kappa and Tween, they were, and still are, some of the best players in the world in Trackmania for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
They've been in several World Championship finals together. They got first and second in the 2018 World Cup. Kappa, the world champion then. Tween in second. And they've just been playing together and been friends ever since.
And I think you can see, you know, on the pictures as well, you can see that they are so used to being in this situation that they're smiling. They're having fun in their picture. Alliance, they're serious. They're looking like, you know, we're here to game. But Sinners, I think they have more of a laid back attitude.
Looking scary on that picture. They are, and they are scary too. You should be scared of that team. Mutta and Solja, they are so good on so many different things. I feel like they're a team that where Mutta really shines. Places where Mutta might not shine as much. Solja kind of fills out his weaker sides and stuff like that. So we'll see how this one goes. Do you have a prediction for us, Jnic? Who do you think might win?
So I think that there are some maps that heavily favor specific players. I think you talked about this right before we started here, that Mutta is known as one of the best full speed players to ever play the game. He is so good on maps that have a lot of speed, a lot of momentum, and some of the maps definitely just cater to Mutta's style. So if they take advantage of the fact that Mutta is one of those players, then, you know, I think they can get some map wins pretty easily.
Sinuous is a map that I am just, it screams to me that it's a Mutta map. And I think Frosty as well suits him very well. But then you have to think about Sinners and you think, okay, speed, highly technical, no weird tricks, pool as well, Vortex. Like if you can find 4 maps like this, where you just have speed, pace, momentum, and no weird things, like they can easily run away with this too.
Another thing Mutta is also known for is like he's really good at seeing when it is needed to risk and when it's needed to save. Like he's really good at just making decisions on his feet during a round to get the best possible result here.
And also very meticulous in practice. Like I remember maps from previous Trackmania Grand Leagues where he would be like, yeah, if you go in this version of camera 3 and you look at that pole in the distance, when that disappears from frame of view, if you release until you see that bush appear on the right side, you will have the perfect jump every time. Like he will study maps and find cues. He will, like, Mutta is very passionate about Trackmania, and he will go the extra distance.
And you also got to realize for the people in chat that don't know, of course the players, they practice these maps in and out, but they don't just play the map. What most players will do is that they'll segment the map into 3 or 4 segments, and then they rebuild the map. So they put a finish line from the start to like maybe 1/3 into the map, and then they make a new map. And then they make a new map where the start is in the middle of the map. And that's because they want to practice each section of the map. If you practice an entire map, 50 or a 1 minute long map, you get to the ending so infrequently that the ending starts to become a lot worse than the start. So you need to section up these maps, and that's definitely
and
what
it might
the
be
players
hard
have done
also
as well.
Hard also to see where you gain or lose time. Like okay, that run was okay, but where would it actually gain? How can I go faster?
So, I mean, these players are, well, Mutta included, but all of the players are going to be meticulous with their with their way of practicing maps. And I think it's a very good implementation in general. Also, just the fact, if you guys didn't know, in the previous Trackmania games, there were no flying respawns. There is in this game, and it's so great for practicing specific turns or specific lines, and that's also something that the players are doing here. You're gonna have 1 second of
oh no, it's happening again. The black screen is happening again. Okay, well, that is unfortunate. We will then let you know about the picks and bans as they are coming through.
So we can actually say something about them right now. We have Frosty as the first map. Frosty is followed by Airwalk. Then right after that, we have Grip. Then Control is coming in. Then we have Braking, Vortex, and then the random map is gonna be Pool. Realize that it's a little bit unfortunate that the screen is black.
This is a very unfortunate bug. We had it previously as well. Hopefully it'll work, because else we don't have a game to show you guys. But I will try my best to fix this right now. We're speeding through it. Hopefully we can get that up on screen for you guys in just a second.
You can just do a display capture. Right.
I tried, but that did not work. So I am speeding to. Okay, wait. I think we have a very quick and temporary fix while this is not working. So,
great job leaking the Discord. That's good.
I did not leak anything because I actually used something called Studio Mode.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's lucky.
Which is it's not lucky. It's called skill. Okay, I'm a professional streamer. I'm a professional at this.
I've leaked so many things so many times.
That is why I have this job, Jnic.
Recently I played a couple in the morning with Wirtual on my channel, twitch.tv/JNicThankyou, and he freaked out mid-round because I apparently showed. He
has never heard of pop-out.
I showed our DMs on stream. Our DMs are not interesting at all, by the way.
But it's crazy.
But then he yells at me mid-round and loses, and then that's not my fault.
We can have our relationship, friendship arguments later on, because right now the games are underway. We got the first round of Frosty, and based on seeding from Trackmania World Tour points, I believe this is then first pick from Alliance, and it does make sense. It's an Alliance map.
Oh, definitely. Here we have the Frosty
from Mudda
turnarounds. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is definitely something Mudda would be good at. He goes pretty wide, but I think that's because he wants the momentum coming in. He did touch the left-hand wall, so this actually looks like it could be an early ace for Kappa and Tween.
Looks like they have it on lock. Half a second of a lead right now. 2 Soldier, the closest support. Oh, Tween into the wall. Never mind. Can never say things too certainly. And Kappa right now, if he slides out, if he misses the approach here for the 360, he could get passed up too. Mudda will make it there. A draw with his team, but yeah, they got very close.
Yeah, that was too close for comfort here. An unfortunate mistake by Tween, because that could have been a very important ace for Team Sinners. Now, I am secretly hoping that Team Sinners shows us some pace that we just haven't seen from them before, because they lost 7 out of 7 games in the last season.
I just want them to win a game this season.
I really, really want them to win a game.
And make it 2 and make it 3 for all things that are, good. It's great to see these guys succeed.
And I mean, they're so veteran players that I don't want all of the best players in the world to be 17, 18, 19, 20. I like my players to be 29. Like that's just good.
You want someone your age to root for. I get it. No, but they're so likable people too. Kappa and Tween, amazing. Having met them in person, always smiling, always having a good time.
Yeah.
And they're just still passionate about the game, 15 years after they started playing.
Yeah, which is just incredible. The amount of experience that is behind the wheel of those guys, it's just crazy. Here we go, Mudda going for the inside line. We see Kappa trying to go wide. It does give them more speed, more momentum going into the ending section. You can see it gets all the way up to the shoulder of Mudda, but it is kind of close here. It could end up in what it looks like an ace for Team Alliance. Mudda getting a really tight line towards the finish in the ending, and that's enough to overtake Kappa and indeed get that ace for the team.
They were in sync there, like a boy band in the 90s, doing classic pirouette moves.
Oh, in sync?
In sync, yeah.
Yeah, definitely not specifically that because of issues with the copyright, but they were in sync.
They really were.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that was nice to watch. They got that ending down. 105.8 as well, great times. And we see a mistake in the start from Tween.
yeah, we see a slight mistake from
like
the actually 2 mistakes in the start. We'll see if Kappa also does that, because right now Tween is back there in the street. So if Kappa also does it, he could be one of the back street boys. But you know, you never know. It does look like Kappa is in the front right now, though, so it doesn't look like that's quite gonna happen.
It does not look like that's gonna happen right now. Kappa is holding first place, actually. But see what Mutta and Soldier can do about it. Going for an inside line. Looks like Mutta wants it that way as he's going towards the ending. Frosty, I never want to hear you say that the round is over until it's over, as anything can happen. Kappa with the lead, but Mutta! Oh, not
so
quite 400th of a
close.
second. Jnic, your take on the current situation here?
I mean, I just think that was an impressive showcase of gameplay here. I'm so sorry, I don't know that many more references that I can call back upon, but that was impeccable both from the players and from the casters. Thank you very much.
Great round there. Alliance 5-2 on their map right now, keeping the lead. Still that ace up and looking to hold on to it.
So here we saw Pack go super inside line. We actually see Mutta and Soldier do the exact same thing. It does look like that's the line you want to go for. It looks just a tiny bit faster. Kappa coming in there with a more inside approach on the flick. Jumping right up to second place. Mutta going really wide, almost touching the outside wall, but that also, you know, increases his momentum.
It is very counterintuitive if you're just getting into Trackmania, but the higher you go on those turns, the more speed you get. So the closer you go to the outside wall, the faster. And that's why it's so impressive what Mutta just did. And that's also why he's in first right now.
And it's due to the fact that those dirt walls, or dirt turns there, they are curved near the wall. So you don't need to drift as much when you go so wide. It's kind of like the curvature of the wall kind of pushes your car in the right direction.
Also, I wish we had a bell right now on the caster desk to call for pace alert, because this is fast from Mutta. This is a great run right now into the 360s. Could try to beat the world records that we saw earlier today from Mive and Pack, and yes, indeed,
does.
By a lot as well. 105.1. Oh my god, a great time from Mutta on Frosty.
On Frosty. I mean, it's great to see the players be so absolutely impressively fast all the way from the start of the match. Like, they've only, what are these? This was round 5, so that was round 4. He's driven 4 rounds and already, like, imagine restarting a map 4 times and then just getting world record.
Just dropping the world record, yeah. Up to you guys on that. The world record before, of course, was about, I think, 3 or 4 tenths slower. It was 105.4, but we can forget about that one. It's gone already. Mutta beating it, and Tween with a mistake up front together with Kappa making a mistake early. This could be Alliance now acing again, running away with it. It is far between
that's
them.
A big discrepancy in time here. So Mutta and Soldier, they know that they can save it. Mutta will obviously save it. He is good at recognizing situations like this, making sure that he doesn't make any huge mistakes. And I think Soldier will do the exact same thing. I think Mutta works as a great mentor for Soldier, honestly.
It does, and I don't want to be, you know, blunt here, but I really feel like this map is going in one direction.
I mean,
it is going one way, Jnic.
True.
We just gotta admit it. It's Alliance 9-3 right now, and Sinners are not playing bad, but the pace up front there is hard to match.
I mean, it is. I mean, it goes away in the blink of an eye. Even like 182 blinks of an eye, like then it's just gone. So I mean, you just
that is a fair point to bring up, indeed. That you know, it could quickly just end up that way. But I mean, it's not unthinkable that Sinners can come back here. Just
no, you always just
once on a green day, you know, they could really make it happen.
Oh yeah. I mean, you just gotta believer and never say never.
Okay. I am sorry for what you are hearing on the audio track of this stream, but the visual track, the what we were seeing is pretty good gameplay, apart from one crash there. Mutta again driving insane pace, and he's likely going to close out the map here for Alliance.
Yeah, he is a second ahead, and once again, Mudda is known to recognize these situations, so he will. I mean, Tween going really tight. I think we saw multiple players. They went super wide in that turn. Tween, he is going. I don't. Maybe he kind of gave up there, but he went between going wide and going tight, which is just that's the place you don't want to be. You either gotta execute a tight line, execute a wide line. Tween went kind of in between, and then not. Yeah. He knows. He knows it. He knows it. Yeah.
It's like. You know, you're going between two outfits. You got the suit jacket and the swimming shorts.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, true. You can't go with the sweatpants and then a full-on blazer. It doesn't work.
It doesn't. You gotta either sweatpants or the blazer.
Yeah. Or if you want to be really cool, you can actually match. If you look at us, you can match a good shirt with a headset, gamer headset, which is just also a great fit, honestly.
Yeah, it's
if you ever go to a wedding, just pick your best suit and then some headset that you like, and then just show up like that.
I mean, I'd be down going on the Met Gala with a headset on. Just say it's like new fashion.
Is that next Streamer Awards? We join in with headsets on?
Yep. Sorry, can't hear you. I'm listening to jams rather than your pointless conversation.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have Airwalk coming in. Once again, Airwalk is this very... So this is the warm-up, of course. But it's a very, I would say, wicked map. You know, it's definitely one of the more difficult maps to drive, especially in the ending where you have this incredible jump towards the finish, where you have to jump from one bouncing block to another to a third one.
You see it here in the start. These yellow arrows here are the bumper blocks. Not to be confused with these yellow arrows, which are the reactor down arrows. But they happen frequently throughout the map, and the players have to know what to do to get the best lines from them. There's another one coming up right here, and some players tend to release to get a better trajectory on the bumper. It's a big jump down to a platform here. And we see, tiny release happening, at least from Soldier, to try to get an inside drift around that platform. Very well executed, and now onto the grass. Gonna try to get a good speed slide exit up the hill, lay the gear. And we are all really waiting right now for that identity where we see the bumper blocks once again, just with a lot more spectacular distance to it.
Yeah, so here we're gonna come up to some bumper blocks where you have to jump towards the middle of the road, otherwise you, as Kappa just did, drive straight into a pole. It is difficult to aim for the exact middle, because once you hit the bumper, you just gotta go for it. And here we have the identity, Mudda in the lead. One block, two block, the third block, and into the finish. Mudda does get first place. Tween gets that second, and Soldier coming in on third.
And a really nice time as well, 108.4. Does not quite beat his own world record here, Mudda, but that is a great time to drive in a match. And also, did you see how close Tween was? Tween barely catching the back wheel. You don't need the full car on it. You will see it maybe here in the start. If any part of your car is on the block, that is enough to get a clean bump.
Yeah. I mean, and there are some, some features of the bumper block, if you will, where you sometimes get lower bounces or higher bounces. Now, remember that Trackmania is a fully deterministic game, which means that if you land with the same inputs and do the same inputs, you're gonna get the same bounce, but it can be very, very hard with the exact precision that the players need to get the bounces that they sometimes are looking for, especially in the start. You can get a low bounce that actually saves you multiple tenths, but it's just almost random.
Yeah, and I've seen Mossa talk about this and practice it on stream, and it is a full science to get a good bumper on the end of Airwalk, because there is a release timing, there is an acceleration timing, an angle you need to get, but if you can get mid 108s, you're doing something right. Kappa in the lead here, trying to avoid the pillars, trying to get middle. Tween as well. Ooh.
Is that a purposeful nose down from Kappa?
I think so. Tween missing the gear here, gonna lose a lot of ground onto the bumpers. Can Kappa hold on to that first place, being chased down by Mudda, who jumps higher on the bumper. But Kappa's gonna hold 108.35. Again, it's super close to the record.
Yeah, that is 200s away from what Mudda drove here last weekend. I mean, that's incredible. Good time, nice time coming in chat from the Alliance players. Great sportsmanship being showed there. Does look like Sinners can take home the world record away from Mudda, honestly.
Yeah, if Mudda is not going to try to beat it himself, I think the players know a 107 is within reach with a great run, and maybe that's what they're aiming for throughout the season here, but 108.3 week one.
I mean, the thing is, in the ending, you saw both Mudda and Tween and Kappa. They jump really far in the ending. Yeah. I mean, you would assume that there's a way to get a lower airtime towards the start of the finish.
You would think it's very risky to go for, though, because if you jump too low, you might throw the round as a consequence.
Yeah, true.
But look at this. I mean, this is a great answer, I think, from Tween and Kappa to the map Frosty. There is no Ice 360 here. It's a lot of racing lines, and they are gaining so slightly in those racing lines. Again, find themselves in the battle for first. Mutta missing a little bit on the bumper.
What was the... I mean, that's one of the sciences of the bumper. It can be a little bit difficult knowing exactly what's going to happen to your car.
Here. Soldier bumping at a different angle, but able to snipe it away from both. And
Kappa missed.
Yeah, that's a win for Alliance.
I mean, that's everything Alliance could have asked for there. Great. Well, Mutta is going to be happy about that because he did make that mistake. I think sometimes if you hit the side of a bumper with only, you know, 2 wheels, for example, the 2 right wheels that Mutta hit, sometimes you just get a lower bounce. And I honestly think...
Oh, Tween having the same problem here. So the signs of if you land on it on the side, you can still get a clean bumper. It's true, but if your wheels crash the side of the block as you're flying, I think that's when you have a problem.
Yeah, but you can also get it like if you only hit with 2 wheels. I think that's why people do it. If you only hit with 2 wheels, sometimes your car just gets shot straight towards the water way faster than it would normally. And I think it's because you land in a way that bumps you twice, like quickly in succession.
2 quick ones.
yeah, just a quick bop back to back, and that pushes you harder. And I think that's what they honestly are going for a little bit. I've at least experienced it multiple times.
The bumpers must be understood on airwalk to be the winning team here, but Kappa in the normal racing lines has again made a breakaway, and that nosedive to get an early landing with front wheels is present once again. But here's Soldier, still close enough to make a snipe happen. Had a different trajectory on the jump last time. Going for a bigger release and then full speeding towards the finish, but having to back out of it a little bit. And Alliance will lose that round. Sinners enter back.
And that's the thing about going for the very left side of that finish, is that it does seem like you have so much speed, you're gonna hit the top of the finish instead, or fly over the finish block. You want low airtime while still going as far left as possible, and that is not easy to execute consistently on bumper blocks that are just placed randomly, well, not randomly, but just in the middle of the air.
And I just gotta say that the spectator seats above that finish have to be both the best and worst seats in the entire stadium, because holy, you are in an exposed area of the crowd.
Kappa got once again one of those little mistakes there in the bumper block in the start. He got slowed down quite a bit, so he's going to be about a second behind. That means that Tween is now on the task of trying to deny Alliance as many points as possible, hopefully by getting first so that he can secure a draw, or by getting second to at least only give Alliance 2 points. But right now, if the standings remain, this is going to be an ace for Alliance, but nothing is done quite yet. The only halfway mark of the map is being driven on right now, and the identity once again is still there to be driven.
Tween getting a lot of speed down the hill. Also here, important to get so much speed, but not too much. You can't actually be too fast here to crash into the front of that road entry. But here he gets back up to pace with Mutta passing Soldier. Now looking for the first place to deny any points for Alliance here. Good bumpers. Is that going to go too wide, though? Into the spectator seats, and he will be passed by Mutta.
I mean, that was an incredible low jump up to the last bumper, but the last bumper shot him quite far up into the air. Like, I'm trying to see if I can figure out exactly what it is that they need to do in the ending to get a low jump, but I cannot seem to quite figure it out.
I think the game you're playing is you're always trying to release just enough. So like, if you hit the second one with too much speed, then you will fly too far. So you're trying to release just enough, but not too much, you know, because then you jump short. So that's what they are aiming at. And 8-6 Alliance on Sinner's map choice. So dangerous situation now. A regular victory gives Alliance the map. Ian and Kappa have to be clean from here on out. No mistakes on the bumpers can be had.
Here we see Alliance only 2 points away from getting the map victory. This would be a huge map victory for them since it's Sinner's map choice. Which means that, you know, after this map, we have another Alliance map, and that, getting 2 maps in a row in the start is kind of detrimental. And I do want to see Sinners put in as much of a fight as possible. Once again, they lost all of their matches in the last stage. So let's see if they can get close. Kappa trying to overtake. Oh, actually might be doing it. Mutta goes really far left. Soldier.
That's an ace.
Soldier coming in from the left side, acing it, and Alliance is gonna win the second map. Sinners map choice 11-6.
And he barely beat his world record by 9,000ths of a second. Mudda getting the new record there on the map in that round.
Well
to clutch
played.
the win. Well played to them.
I mean, we're seeing world records on pretty much all the maps we see being played today.
That's great. Is there any map we haven't seen? I'm trying to think.
We haven't seen Sinuous yet.
You have not seen Sinuous. No team favoring that.
Did we see a record on breaking?
Yes, Gwen dropped a spectacular time there. The 113 low. So I think Sinuous is the only map unseen.
Yes. That's a little bit interesting, to say the least. Now, I didn't get a good memory of whether or not it's going to be picked this time around.
We had
because we had some black screen problems, some technical difficulties on the backside here, but maybe we see it. I mean, it would, as you said, be something that we could see Mudda pick.
Yeah. Grip, though, interesting map choice here. I think Alliance are picking this going in with that line that we saw from Big earlier today. It would be the main reason to pick this, I think. Also, maybe finding, you know, they are better at the ending, the balancing act, but we'll see what they have prepared on this map. Maybe something entirely new.
I mean, you would hope so.
The line would be here.
In between.
And they have it, and Sinners do not have it. Sinners have not seen this line, so again, we see a situation where you can gain 2 to 3 tons for free in that section every time.
This is, this is definitely going to be difficult for Sinners to come back from, because if they don't, I mean, if they don't adjust to that line within this game, that's going to leave Alliance to get, as you said, 2 to 3 tenths.
Every round.
Single round for free.
So we've seen other teams find this. We also saw G1 not having it going into their game against Big.
Yeah.
And a 1:01:58. Call the referee. What is that time?
That is just an incredible time. Is that
no? Wait,
so we saw faster earlier, but still faster than the previous world record.
The maps.
It's still faster than the previous world record that was there before we started today.
It's just we're getting spoiled with so many good records by other players that, you know, the old record is being put.
Kappa with a huge mistake. And that's going to send him all the way to the back. Now, Tween is going to be the only one that can deny Alliance another ace. He is, although in the lead, but here we see
the problem is the line that he's missing, the speed in this part here.
It was more than 0.2 ahead, and now he's going to be behind.
0.1 behind. It is crazy the amount of time that you can get with that. And that effectively means, like, every single round, Tween and Kappa will have to play 0.3 better.
Yeah.
To be equal.
Yeah, just to be equal. Just to equalize them not having that strat.
Now on the balancing act, 190 is the speed you want to aim for. Anything higher and you are risking it. You are pushing the car to the point where it's about to fly off the platform.
Ooh, that is not good.
That is not good, but Mudda is so far.
Mudda is so far behind.
It's not going to be an ace. It's going to be a draw.
But that's still good for Alliance. They get that that extra point.
But yeah, just think about that. Like, to drive the time Mudda did, you would effectively have to drive 101.2 pace.
Yeah, if you don't do that.
If you don't do the line.
If you don't do the line, true. I mean, it is gonna be very difficult for Tween and Kappa. They're gonna have to kind of rely on mistakes happening from Alliance.
They need to get consistent, because that round where they crashed out, maybe they had a chance against Soldier. But tough map here, so the question is really what they can do after this map as well to get back if they should lose it.
Oh, Tween! This is the second time in a row we've seen a mistake from Sinners on that specific jump right there. He just went a little bit too low on the ramp cut.
Now we see this, of course. Players, there's a reason they kept lines secret in the All-Stars tournament, and it is specifically to use them to their advantage in the first step here. Now that all the cards are on the table. Mudda getting a massive lead this round, but Soldier could be passed up here.
Yeah, he almost touched the left-hand wall, so he slowed down a little bit to make sure he didn't.
Oh, the splits, Jnic. Oh no, Mudda, what is this?
Oh, he drives on two-wheeler for such a long time.
Oh, he's doing it. This is fast. Hold your horses.
I think he's still slowing down a little bit in the ending here, because I know Mudda, he will make sure that he gets it at 101.49.
Also spectacular from Mudda to do that.
I think he could push it more in the last turn, but I think he also realized he was far enough ahead, and there's no reason to like risk that at all.
The most important thing is getting the points, and they are looking very steady here, Alliance, right now.
They are, I mean...
Sinners have to fix the mistakes in this part, the start.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to see any more mistakes here on the ram cut. They're going to jump on the left side of the rim, and they cannot jump too low. That was what we wanted to see. Both of them making it. Soldier a little bit behind there, getting more airtime than the other players, but Mudda will maintain that lead. And here we see once... Oh, Mudda going very far from the middle up to the left, and we see the Alliance players. They should be doing a breakaway from that point, just because it's so much faster.
It's crazy the amount of time it saves. And very unfortunate for Sinners too, because... Like, okay, you might think like, oh, let me just turn cars on, see what the opponents are doing, and copy. You cannot learn that line on the spot.
No,
you
absolutely
cannot.
Not. It's kind of like...
It is so difficult. It requires hours and hours of practice to see where to drive exactly, so...
Mudda driving on 2 wheels for quite a while there. Tween almost getting into a drift, but manages to catch that before it happens, and that is a slow ending, but Soldier is far enough behind for it not to matter too much. Alliance putting themselves in a track point position, though.
Yeah, 7-2 now. The result.
So Alliance, I mean, they definitely have the favorable spot on this map just because of that 0.3 extra for free that they're getting.
I think even if Sinners drop this map and they go down 3-0, they still have the most experience out of all these players in terms of, you know, competitive matches. These guys have been competing since 2011, 2012 in Trackmania.
Absolutely true.
So they know, like, a match is not over, even if you're down 3-0. But it's just about thinking about what can you do, you know?
I think he clipped that jump once again there. Tween.
If I'm Sinners, I would almost want just to get stomped on this map. Because, like, okay, make it not close, make me not attached to a feeling that I could even win this. And then we go again on a map we actually have a chance on.
But now Kappa, he needs to overtake at least one of these 2 players that they want just one more round here on track number 3, Grip. Oh, and there he goes, getting those water bounces, and Mudda and Soldier are now going to be alone in the lead, like 3-5 seconds ahead.
This should be map 3 locked in for Alliance, but regardless of the mistakes, I think they would have had it just based on the information that they had, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's such a big kind of just... It's not a cheat. It's just, having that information is... such a big favorable thing to have. Like, it will make you win the map.
I mentioned this earlier, but there is a saying that information wins war sometimes, you know? Just having better advancement in a battle can make the decide of the difference rather than, you know, your skill or whatever. And here you see it on display. Sheer information victory. And control is the answer from Sinners.
We see Mudda getting that 101.4, showing that he has the pace. Indeed, he does have the pace on that map. I mean, amazing showcase by Mudda, and also Alliance with the strength of the upper line on the plastic. Not the only team to get it, but definitely one of the teams to showcase just how fast it is.
And you know, of course you can't know in a step 1, but I think KC and VDS, right? With their match being rescheduled, if they didn't have this line, they now have the chance to...
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Both this line, but also the Bugslide line.
The Bugslide line on Vortex.
Yeah, which is just... That is so... Like, that's a disgusting line. That saved so much time as well.
Sinners are down 3-0. Can they make a comeback on Control? They chose this map. It is, I would say, suited to their skill set, being mostly normal driving here, mostly old school, with some technical turns, but... Mudda and Soldier can also play that game.
Well, the thing about Control now is that it's Alliance's map choice. So you would...
No, this should be Sinners. Map 4.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's me. I can't count.
Soldier with a mistake.
Counting to 4 can be difficult, Virtual.
It is tough. Requires a degree or studying physics or something.
Yeah, I mean, who would study physics? That's numbers and such? Damn.
Damn, seems boring. I'd rather study cars. Here we go into the ending of Control. This is a no brakes part. Normally you drift there, but you drive over a no brakes block. And then Identity, the obstacle part in the ending here. Jump up on the ball. Oh, Tween missing it. Soldier missing it.
Soldier also missing it. They're restarting at the same... No, that's Mudda and Kappa. But like, that could have been an important...
Kappa might snipe this. Kappa might with the inside. 100th. Mudda taking the win.
14 thousandths of a second. That is...
But
I
Tween
mean,
able to secure a draw though, so it's not too bad.
do you like? It sounds so crazy to me to say 14 thousandths of a second. 1,000th of a second is just, I mean, a tenth of a second is fast.
Yep.
100th of a second, that's like faster than a blink. A thousandth of a second, 1,000 of those things can happen in 1 second. That's crazy.
Yep. That is the margins they're playing at, and I've had this feeling for a bit that maybe we should get one more digit on the timer. It would look crazy, but just to decide tiebreakers, I don't know if it's possible to even calculate that, you know?
So the
right
10,000s?
Yeah, right now the tiebreakers are calculated by whoever was first on the previous checkpoint. So if they tie at the finish line, who was first on the last checkpoint. And that's a pretty good tiebreaker, but it would be exciting to, you know, oh, okay, this record is kind of optimized, but maybe I can improve it by 1/10,000th of a second.
That would be insane.
At that point, might be a little bit
too low jump there coming in from Team Sinners. And now Soldier and Mudda, they are in a favorable spot. Kappa, he is trying to hold that first place. Want to make sure to deny as many points from Alliance as possible, getting that draw in. But it is shoulder to shoulder, neck to neck. All the players, they're driving so close to each other. It's hard to see who's going to get this home. That was a low jump, really low jump coming in from Soldier.
Clean. Both the blue players trying their best, but Kappa is gonna look to hold that lead, and he will by just 600ths of a second, and a great time, 1:10.6. That is close to the record.
I mean, yeah, I love that. Is
close to the record.
I mean, I like that.
1:10.6 though is a fantastic time.
It is a great time, and it shows that Sinners, they are ready to clap back right now. They just need to do so 4 maps in a row.
Just 4 maps in a row. Just win.
Just win.
If they drive faster than the opponent cars, they can't lose.
And that's a fact.
If they copy the world record inputs, they'll be first every time.
Well, not necessarily. We've seen a lot of world records getting broken.
So just copy the new world records inputs.
Just invent new world records every round.
Yeah. seems genius. Mudda with a mistake. Kappa right now currently doing that strategy we talked about. Driving faster, getting a good bobsleigh access. Well, this bobsleigh's not easy at all to hit, especially with the lineup you have for the jump.
Yeah, and that was a big slowdown from Soldier as well. Sinners might be able to take home an ace right now.
But the jumps at the ending remain. And the thing about this, you're going for such an inside approach here. It's the best way to set it up, and then you have to time the exit point and just barely get the bounce across. Tween catching up to Kappa, but Kappa also surviving the jump, most important thing. And they're able to save that last one to get the round victory and the ace. 5 points to 2 now.
I mean, that is a really good showing here coming in from Sinners. I think they have a solid chance of taking home the victory here on this map. And it sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you just need that one map victory to start the snowball effect, to start the motivation, the whole like
this is not at all over, right? We had, I think it was Solary G1 last season, where G1 were looking so out.
Yeah.
It was like 9-4 or something. And then they double ace to get back, and then they won another map to make it like a best of 7, so.
Nothing is over till it's over, and I mean, we've seen reverse sweeps before. So it can definitely happen. Sinners just has to pull it out right now. They are on first and second. Couple looking to be on a great pace right now. Mudda and Soldier half a second and a second behind. So, I mean, it is looking good. Mudda trying to overtake Tween, trying to make sure that they don't get aced back to back. But it is going to be difficult because Tween also has a great ending once we come into the identity.
Such a nail-biter race here. Look at Mudda just creeping closer and closer. The low jump might get him there. Bounces later than Tween, but Tween's gonna land earlier, and oh, never mind. Mudda getting the speed there, paying off. Might even catch up to Kappa, but he clips, and so does Tween. Tween having to respawn. Soldier will be inheriting second place, and Kappa dropping a great time. Not world record.
No, but a really great time though. And it is gonna be a draw because unfortunately Tween made that mistake. If he just would have saved it, that would have been an ace, but that does not matter because Sinners are still 3 points ahead, and they look like they have the pace to continue this lead.
They do. I mean, as long as they keep trading draws here, they're gonna get to 10 first. If they can keep holding this gap, this margin, but that is an early mistake from Kappa, and that's gonna send the alarm bells off in the Sinners camp, because right now Tween has to play this 2v1. Alliance will be aware of that split being 2.5 seconds now.
There's a lot of airtime coming in from Soldier. I think we've seen Soldier in general on this map be a little bit slower there on the pace, which means that Tween once again can jump up next to Mudda, and Kappa, he is 2 seconds ahead, but we've seen multiple mistakes coming into the identity. Also right here for the first jump, a mistake there also costs at least 1.5 seconds. So Kappa is not all out yet, but Tween is definitely looking to make this a draw at the very least.
Yeah, and here's the question. Do you try to go for the ace here with Soldier pushing, or do you secure the win here with Mudda pushing and Soldier at least being there? Not, you know, because you can't lose more points now. No, looks like they're going for Mudda pushing it and Soldier safing, and we'll see if Mudda can win this 1 versus 1 up front. Tween, low jump here, trying to land early, instant live. Ooh, 400ths.
That was very close, and I think that was the right call, making sure that Mudda just full sended, trying to maintain that first place, and then Soldier could. Because Tween obviously also went really fast trying to overtake Mudda, and there's a slight chance that he makes a mistake, and then Soldier would be there to take home the ace.
That is the first time we've heard the announcer say track point for Sinners this game, and they do have 7 to their name. An ace necessary now to close out the map. And Alliance are only 2 points behind them.
They are. I mean, it's getting really close right now. I think Sinners will be able to take this home. Kappa once again in the lead. Tween pretty close, and Tween has been on first place so many times on this map, so if he just takes that pace and applies it to this round as well, he should be able to overtake at least Soldier. But also Mudda here on this left-hander getting a lot of speed. That's gonna get carried into this turn as well. He might be able to jump up to first, but getting such a sideways landing out of that bobsleigh turn.
Now Alliance looking for the ace. They have 2/10 of a lead up to Soldier, and this is holdable. They could actually take the lead of the map right now and try to get a 4-0 sweep against Sinners. See Tween right now trailing, still trying to catch up, but Soldier holds on so well. Kappa joining him the last jump. Are they gonna get an ace here? 8-7 the scoreline. They will get it.
That is impressive from Alliance, coming back from what looked like a very bad deficit in points, but now they're going to be in the lead 8-7. So they just need to get a match victory, so first and third, and that's going to give them the map point and the match point.
And the times they drove now were so fast too. Both players dropping, you know, 1:10.5 and 1:10.8. That's a crazy consistency to have in a team. So Sinners, high pressure situation right now. You gotta drive close to the world record pace to win this.
And this is like, you sweat during these situations. Like,
oh yeah, hands trembling. It is all bunch of nerves, but
such a great landing. Jump. Yeah, that was beautifully executed by Tween, making sure that he got a early landing, getting the tight left-hander, getting closer to Mudda. Both Kappa and Tween getting. Oh, that was beautiful as well.
That was crazy fast from Tween, landing so early there. And the speed is there, and now the wobbly exit though, he again has that trouble on the exit of the bobsleigh. Kappa getting it good, keeping the first place for his team. They can afford a draw, but they cannot afford the loss, as you said. Where is Tween? Is he getting any closer? In fourth, has to get past Soldier here to make it a little bit prettier on the scoreline, because Mudda could close this out by passing Kappa. Bunch of battles going on, but Tween has made it up to third. They will not lose if this remains. And Kappa might get first. Close jump.
Oh my god, that was the risky line from Tween to make sure he got third. That was a little bit spooky, but now it's 9-9. This will be decided within the next couple of rounds. Let's hear it for the team you hope to win. Team Alliance or Team Sinners in chat.
And the craziest thing for Sinners is if they win this, they still have 3 more maps to go after that, but oh, Tween's had some troubles in the start. Hit the water, had to adapt his line, able to keep within 3/10, though not losing more than that at least. But yeah, it's a long way back for Sinners, but every journey starts with a single step, and the step here is getting first and third. That's all they need to close out this map and put it to map 5.
At least Kappa is in the lead, so he can make sure that they get get a draw, which would be good. Oh, Kappa with such a wonky landing, and that's gonna put both the Alliance team members far away in the lead. Are they gonna close it out? Are they gonna make it a 4-0 versus Sinners here as we head into the final section of the map? We're gonna enter the identity. Mudda and Soldier on first and second place. Tween and Kappa, they're trying to get closer, but it's gonna be very difficult here. Mudda is on the way to make this an Alliance 4-0. Will it happen? It does look like Soldier overtakes his teammate, but that is gonna be Alliance taking it home 4-0 versus Sinners.
Very, very clean game there from Alliance. The All-Star champions remain on top for now and win again, this time against Sinners, with a 4-0, as you said. I mean, and I feel again for Sinners, which was the case last season, that the result does not really reflect the game. They were quite close. They had the right moments. I feel the only map they really got stomped on was Grip, where they didn't have that one line.
Yeah, and when you don't have one of the most crucial lines in a map like that, and you lose 0.3 every round, there's not a lot you can do about it.
It's, you know, in Cup of the Day, not having that line would be the difference between Division 1 and, like, Division 3, you know? It's just unfortunate if you don't have it. But apart from that, I think they still played well. They put Alliance under amounts of pressure and you know, made them really work for that win.
Yeah, I mean, that was impressive gameplay by both the teams, as you can see the replays rolling. And, I mean, that was just some great Trackmania esports. Now, there should have been a fourth match now, but unfortunately, Carmine Corp has some health issues, and that means that they had to postpone the match till tomorrow.
Luckily, nothing serious, so the match will be played. I don't know what it is, but, you know, hearts and chat for them. We're going to see them soon enough play against BDS, and I think if you're one of the teams and you saw these games, you're like, oh, yeah, we gotta do some homework.
And that's the great thing about playing tomorrow, is that you now see those lines that you didn't necessarily see last time, and you can utilize those things tomorrow. So that's gonna be amazing to watch. So be back here tomorrow at what, 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock, so that is in about 20 hours from now, give or take. And we will see you guys then. The stream's gonna end now. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Trackmania World Tour is back, and it will be back for the next 6 or 7 weeks. So hope you enjoy this, and also more regular streams coming. If you want to watch Jnic, that is in the mornings on Twitch TV Jnic. You can also just click the new Twitch thing, the @Jnic tag.
Did you hear that? Virtual told you to follow. That's what he did. So, I mean, if you like Virtual...
And now you gotta tell them to follow me as well.
Well, no, see, I was gonna do that,
you were gonna do that, but now I forced it, so now
also,
it's not
no, it's fine. You should also I can see all the names following here on the left side of the screen.
Literally
so if you do follow, I'm able to look at that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy our cast. This was the first week, so there's still a lot for us to learn about both the maps, but also the players and what they tend to do, who's gonna ban what. It's gonna be interesting to see all the new world records, probably more being played tomorrow as well. So hope to see you all there.
Yeah. Bye-bye for now, chat. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great rest of your night, evening, or day. Take care. See you guys soon.